fingerprint card was destroyed. It no longer exists. So the investigator was not able to match any fingerprints from the Porsche to the fingerprints to the break-in. And I think what the prosecutors wanted to do is get out that evidence so the defense doesn't score any points on cross. What the defense argued, though, was because those fingerprints disappeared, somehow the government was implying that Combs, through his connections, his wealth, somehow made that evidence disappear. I think that was really a logical leap, to put it mildly, and a logical one more likely. And that's why the judge said, you know what, I'm just going to strike that evidence. It's not really relevant. Jurors, you're going to disregard it. We're going to move forward. No mistrial.
So, Nima, I want to talk about relevance, especially with regard to the entire kind of Kid Cudi episode here. Our colleague and friend, legal affairs journalist Megan Cuniff, she posted this photo from one of the exhibits in courts, saying that jurors in the trial saw more photos today of Kid Cudi's burned Porsche convertible there in 2012. My question to you, Nima, is this. Diddy is not charged with trying to firebomb Kid Cudi's Porsche convertible. It is in the complaint. It's in the indictment. So what are they trying to establish here? I know it was included in the indictment, but it's not one of the charges. Is this a distraction? How is it relevant?
It's very relevant. And Megan's great. She's been covering these trials forever.
Oh, yeah.
So when you're talking about RICO, racketeering, you need a pattern of racketeering. So what does that mean? You need 2 or more RICO predicate acts within a 10-year period. So this case, we've been talking about sex trafficking. But Andrew, there's many ways to get to RICO that don't even involve sex trafficking. So let's say the jurors believe that the freak-offs were consensual, that Cassie was a knowing and willing participant. She actually planned the freak-offs based on her text messages and emails. The government can still get a racketeering conviction if they prove 2 or more acts of arson, kidnapping, obstruction of justice, bribery, prostitution, witness intimidation. Those are also all RICO predicate acts. That's why the government is spending so much time on the arson. This is really a belt and suspenders type approach. So in case the jurors believe what the defense argued in its opening, that this was a swinger's lifestyle and Cassie was loving it and wanted to participate in these freak-offs and wished, and all the words that we heard her use in her own words and we saw in her emails and text messages, that doesn't mean that the government can't get a racketeering conviction.
So just some more details, because I think this is interesting here, about this episode. So this is what we know. The Molotov cocktail used to burn Kid Cudi's car in his Hollywood Hills driveway was fashioned out of a 40-ounce Old English 800 malt liquor bottle and a designer handkerchief. That's according to this witness. His name, Lance Jimenez, an arson investigator for the LAFD, and these photos were shown in court here. Just, Nima, briefly back to the kind of mistrial attempt here. Do you anticipate that that will be used or deployed again? I mean, if you were prosecuting this or even defending Diddy, would you have it in your back pocket for a rainy day?
I would. And this is what good defense lawyers do. They're not just thinking about the trial, they're thinking about the appeal. And in Diddy's case, they're also thinking about a potential presidential pardon. We just talked about it with the Chrisleys. There are reports that that's something that Combs's lawyers are already working on behind the scenes. So that's what good attorneys do. So we're talking about the motion for mistrial today. We saw them trying to exclude some of Deontay Nash's testimony today to keep that out. Before the jurors walk in every day, there are these pretrial motions, and Judge Subramanian has to rule on it. And the defense is trying to make a record. Obviously, on one hand, they want to keep everything out. But if something bad comes in and it potentially violates the rules of evidence and it's prejudicial to the defense, when this goes up on appeal, when Combs is convicted, the Second Circuit, 3 judges are going to be looking at that and saying, you know what, should that evidence have come in? Did it result in an unfair trial to Combs? And if so, we may have to start this whole process over. So they are preserving that record for their client.
Okay, let's look ahead. We are kind of anticipating more testimony, this time from another victim who's going to go by the pseudonym Mia. This will be now the second victim since Cassie to take the stand here. And you and I have been talking about some of these victim statements, how the prosecution and the defense might approach them here. Let's talk about the burden for each briefly. What will the prosecution say? How will they approach that?
Well, Mia is important because not only she's a victim, she's a witness. So we heard today when Nash was testifying about this episode where Combs shows up to look for Cassie. He's really upset because she's not answering her phone and there's punching and kicking. And he hits her, and Cassie ends up hitting her head and getting a pretty severe gash right above her eyebrow. And this is something that she testified to earlier, that she had to go see a plastic surgeon because of this. So you have Nash testifying to this. Mia, a victim, is also there. She's another assistant. So we're going to hear her own trauma and her own abuse, physical abuse, and potentially sexual abuse as well. So that's going to come in. But she's also important as a percipient witness to some of these acts of violence that Cassie suffered. And I think that's going to be telling. And we're probably going to see her as early as tomorrow. We thought maybe we would get to her today, but I think that's testimony there.
Friends, still today? Yes. All right. Mia and Cassie are still friends to this day, she said. How was the relationship? She goes, highs and lows unequal. She said highs and lows unequal. But interesting, they're still friends to this day. Cassie and Mia are close friends. It has now been shared. It's now been shared. Interesting. Come on in. She's back on the stand. Let's listen in. I think that's a big deal. All right. Here we go. Folks. Exhibit GX2A401. Picture of Cassie. All right. Was there violence in their relationship? Yes. Boom. She just testified under oath that there was violence in their relationship between Cassie and Diddy that Mia knows about. She said yes. AUSA. But we'll get back to that. What was Mr. Combs's role?
We're definitely gonna see. Just trying to tell people though, man, like, man, dog, you know. Straight up.
He stayed with him, almost coerced, because he was the one that had her career. Oh, I gotta plug this up. He's the one that had her career basically at his whim. So we got to throw in about, she made a lot of music to try to counteract testimony such as Capricorn or anybody that is saying she was in the studio. She got collabs with Kanye.
Hey, how y'all doing? I'm back here getting ready. Thank everybody for coming in. We are at day number 13 over here on the Diddy trial. On Diddy's trial. 529. Okay. But yesterday, y'all know I had to run out the door. I couldn't take all this beating. And then here go a teacher tell she run up my blood pressure and all this type of stuff here. But anyway, good morning, everybody. Thank you to all 45 of you that's here. Thank you, my moderator, self-love. And I think Wayne is somewhere out there. Anyway, y'all, I was watching it this morning, and they basically was giving us a rundown, basically what's going to take place. So anyway, we here on time because it's soon to be time they'll be going out to lunch, and that's when everybody be coming out and telling us basically what's going on. Right now, everybody's going over all yesterday statements and exhibits, what was happening yesterday. But I did hear that they were showing a lot of pictures today. But anyway, we're gonna basically walk through this here, and we'll see exactly what we coming. But you know what? I was having a brainstorm. And I don't know if y'all brain work like my brain. Now, as we know that this here guy yesterday that Trump let him got out. He was getting back on the feds. And then a lot of people saying that the president cannot touch what is on the federal. Okay? They say he can only deal like what was on the state. This situation, to me, after all what I've been covering this case and listening to friends and others about it. This is drug dealer. I don't know what about he from, but I did read some kind of article on him last night. Anyway, Trump did land him get out, right? Now check this out here. Why? Allegedly, I see a game it finna be played. I don't know. Allegedly, this is just my mind. It's something about that. Y'all, don't put your cap on too tight. But something pertaining to Diddy's trial. Did y'all hear when Trump said the other week before he got started, when they were picking the jury, Trump had said that Diddy is not being treated fair. See, Trump got a lot of problems dealing with the feds because he figured that in his mind, he didn't see that he was deal fresh, but he got over 30-something charges that found him guilty on all of them. So he would do anything to get back at the federal government. And basically, and if he can get them, letting them look stupid, that's what he gonna do. Now, this guy who he let go, that he gave him, well, he can come on out, right? This guy here had a lot of years on him. A lot of them. A lot of years on him that he had to spend. How he could have died and come back from the grave. He still got to go back in jail. He let him go, okay? He cannot control the Fed, but okay, this other guy was on with the Fed, but we'll see. Okay, and he cannot control the feds. Okay, I'm going to pull up something like that, and I'm going to see exactly how it goes, and then we all look at it together. Now, with that, I have my moderator saying that he can't control the feds. But the fact that this guy here was a game banger and drugs and all this type of stuff, is he trying to set up a war, something like for all of us to fight at one another? Why? I'm just thinking out loud with this situation. Why? Now, as you see that he spoke up, identified with Diddy. Now, what they say out there in the street that Sean Combs, that the Kardashians owe Kim and her mother owe Sean a favor. If this can be one of the favors, but hey, y'all talk to him. Yeah, get me on out of here. Okay. Let's go and let's see what everybody at. I'm not ready. It's the martial law. Okay, all right. Okay, I didn't know. So anyway, we're gonna go out here in the streets before I start catching us up on the reading or where we are at. And because what happened is that they come out. If somebody sneeze, they're gonna come out and let us know. Okay. So anyway, we're gonna go here. Hold 1 second. Let me see what we come up with. Right now, everybody just reading notes from yesterday. Okay, I didn't know about the tape. Okay, here we go. We got something to read right here. I don't want to play nobody else's stuff. Let me go over here and see old Panic. Miss Panic Attack. Hold on a second. Let me go where I'm safe at. Where I am safe at. A lot of people is not going to come out till like round about now. Okay, hold on a second. Where are we at? Okay, let's just go over here by Carlos King. Let's see why.
Hey, Raindrops, it's True Crime Thursday. So that means Ebony K. Williams and I are back to give you another update of what's going on week 3 of the Diddy trial. Ebony, how are you?
Carlos King, darling, I'm fabulous and so excited to get into these latest updates. I mean, this is the case that keeps on giving, honey.
Oh my God, I know.
No, it really, really is. And speaking of giving, Cassie gave birth today. If you're watching this, it's True Crime Thursday, so she gave birth on Wednesday. Cassie gave birth on Wednesday to baby number. Testified 2 weeks ago. So what do you make about all of that, Ebony?
Yeah, indeed, Carlos. It's very important, I think, for some of the Raindrops and really just the broader viewing audience to understand when the prosecution is deciding the order, right, of where their witnesses will fall on the lineup, the order in which they will get on that witness stand and tell their version of the story. One of the things they consider, it's a lot of things they consider, and many people I see in the comments across the world are curious, Carlos, as to why Cassie testified so early. And of course, there were many people in the beginning saying, well, I'm not seeing Rico and she's not making the case for Rico. It's only domestic violence. And I know we'll get to all of that much later because, you know, some people are now saying Rico has possibly entered the chat. We'll get to that. But I want to be clear that Cassie testified essentially as the first primary witness for the prosecutors for 2 primary reasons. Number one, her state of just how pregnant she was, Carlos. Okay. And I'm speaking now from a lived experience lens. You know, I just gave birth myself about 10 months ago to baby Liberty. And when you and anybody who's given birth or been close up to that situation, they can tell you, once you get to that 32 weeks, but certainly after that 35-week window, anything could happen at any time. And so those prosecutors, Carlos, knew just like we knew when Cassie was walking her big 8.5-month pregnant self in that courtroom, glowing and stunning as she was, this is a very fragile witness, okay? And they knew that they must have her testimony. She is in many ways regarded as the star witness, the prosecutor's star witness. And I'll get to that in my second prong as to why she's so important for the prosecutor's case, because she's foundational. Put a pin in that. But because she was very close to her 40-week due date, that was not a risk they could afford to take, Carlos King. They could not have her, as sometimes we call them, an encore witness, you know, kind of save the best for last, save the big splashy star witness as the last voice you hear going into that jury deliberation room. That is a tactic that lawyers do use, prosecutors and defense alike. But that was not on the table, so to speak here, Carlos, because this woman was entirely too close to giving birth. And could you imagine the shambles that that prosecution's case would be in had Cassie given birth early? Heaven forbid, we live in a world where we know Black and brown women and maternal health is not always successful. Black and brown women die 4, 5, 6 times as likely as white sisters do giving birth. So anything could happen. Complications for childbirth. She could have gone into a coma, heaven forbid, C-section, anything. You get the point. Not worth the risk. Put her on the stand early, get her testimony out of the way. We also saw she was on the stand for several days, Carlos. She wasn't on the stand for a couple of hours. She was on the stand for direct and cross for almost 3 days. So they did the right thing, putting her first on the primary list. The other reason is she was so foundational. So you've got to remember that there are going to be a lot of people on that witness stand that have a certain perception of Sean Combs, right? I'm sorry, in that jury, right. They have a certain perception of Sean Combs. And that is a 30-plus year legacy built primarily around him being a business mogul and a cultural icon. And whether they think positively or negatively, that is their primary lens of this defendant. Cassie was paramount, Carlos, in destroying that as a primary image, as now creating and painting a broad stroke, very big, clear picture of what many are now calling a monster in Sean Combs, what many are now calling a deviant individual. And nobody, not Cassie's mama, not Kid Cudi, not as we're now hearing from Capricorn Clark and other assistants and employees. Nobody can paint that picture better than Cassie Ventura. So those are the two reasons, Carlos King, Cassie went kind of first, if you will, for big witnesses. Her very delicate and fragile state of being within weeks, and literally 2 weeks out of delivering a baby, and anything could happen to complicate her availability as a witness. And she is a primary foundational witness. She lays all of the evidentiary foundation for everything we've seen since her testimony. Her mother talking about the potential extortion, Kid Cudi talking about the potential arson, and now, of course, Capricorn Clark, which we'll get to today.
Yeah. No, so again, congratulations to Cassie, and everything that Ebony outlined now makes perfect sense as to why she was first, why she had to get out of the way. She literally testified 2 weeks ago, and like you said, not just for one day, for several days. And her testimony obviously was very crucial in this case. Speaking of which, so like you said as well, Capricorn Clark is the former assistant to Diddy, who has released a lot of information in her testimony about Kid Cudi, about Cassie. Can you explain to us what Capricorn Clark's testimony is about, why it's happening, and some of the bombshell stuff she has revealed?
Sure. So let me start. I like to start with the letter of the law, Carlos. So a lot of people that are saying I do or I don't see RICO. So let's go back to RICO. Let's go to RICO. And let's kind of name some elements. The elements to successfully prove RICO, which is racketeering, essentially, you need 5 elements, Carlos King. The very first, you need an enterprise. The very first thing, if you're going to get to RICO yesterday, today, or tomorrow, you've got to prove, the prosecution has to prove that a business enterprise is at play. So Capricorn is essential here because she's a what? An employee. So this is where people were kind of hyper-focusing, Carlos, on Cassie as a girlfriend and domestic violence, but she wasn't an employee, so to speak. She was an artist on the label, but she wasn't a part of the Sean Combs business enterprise in the way that an employee who operates under, you have a business, you know how this goes. Mm-hmm. So Capricorn, first and foremost, is important because she's one of the first big witnesses we're hearing from that was a official part of the enterprise, which is the very first element you must prove as the government for RICO. Number 2, you have to have a pattern of racketeering activity. Now I'll get to this. There's 35 different acts. Okay, we call them predicate acts, Carlos. They can include, catch this T, kidnapping. What's one of the primary things we heard Capricorn Clark testify to? That she was forced at gunpoint into the car to take the ride along to Kid Cudi's house. And she actually described it, Carlos King, as she felt kidnapped. Kidnapped. Okay, so this goes to one of the many 35 different qualifying predicate acts under a racketeering activity that will qualify for RICO. She also, again, she's talking about the arson potentially, Kid Cudi too. That's another one of the many 35 activities that could be held account under RICO. There's also things like bribery. There's things like wiring. There's all types of things. The sex trafficking, 35. Look them up, y'all. But kidnapping and arson are on the list. Okay, and we're hearing Capricorn Clark testifying to both of those and then some. Relationship between the defendant and the enterprise. So she's talking about who's the boss of the enterprise, Carlos. Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Daddy Love Combs. Okay, that she was terrified, that he was calling the shots. He was always dictating to this one and that one, who's going to do what. Remember, we heard Capricorn Clark talking about a big, sizable man who was like double 2 linebackers from the NFL, intimidating her and making it clear that if she was lying about stealing some jewelry, which, one of the accusations she testified to was that she and others were accused of stealing millions of dollars of diamond and fine jewels from Sean Combs. And that this big NFL double-sized linebacker man said, hey, if you're stealing and you're lying, we're going to throw you in the East River. Okay, so that's talking about Sean Combs. At the direction of Sean Combs, this big burly man said this to her and threatened her life. She also talked about the head of Sean Combs' security, a different individual, making her take a lie detector test in a hotel room, I believe, over the course of 5 days, and saying these results ain't looking right. You better calm down, take some deep breaths, because if you're lying and it's looking funny, we're gonna throw you in the East River. We're gonna kill you. So that again, talking about
what were these lie detector questions the same questions over the course of 5 consecutive days?
Well, I don't know that we know exactly what they were, but I think they certainly were just like we saw with the exonerated 5. I see your point, Carlos. It's a good one.
Yeah.
The sheer exhaustion of having somebody have to subject themselves to that type of scrutiny for 5 days does some things to the nervous system, can compel people to give false admissions. So yes, the point is though, to this element of the defendant's control over the enterprise, this linebacker man, this head of security, head of whose security? Sean Combs' security. So that's satisfying potentially the third element of RICO, and there's only 5. So relationship between the defendant established. Then we have conduct or participation. This is where the defendant is being proven to have participated in some of these things I've named. So with Capricorn Clark, again, on the witness stand, Carlos talks about it was Sean Combs who came to get her, who put her in the car, who made her participate, go to Kid Cudi's house, made her call Kid Cudi and say, I'm outside, Puff's inside. Who's participating? Sean Combs. She's connecting the dots of not just his domain. That's the third element. He's controlling it, but he's also participating in it. See? And then the fifth and final element is interstate commerce. For me, this is the one I think we're still waiting on the big witnesses to really prove, because interstate commerce means across state lines, that these business transactions, that these activities were participating and happening across state lines. And right now, I know we've heard from one sex trafficker. I hope we don't hear from too many more, child, because I really don't like these sex worker testimonies too much, unless they're going to prove some of these points very specifically. But we heard from, I want to say, was it the plumber? What was his name? The enforcer? The one we heard from last week? Yes.
Yes, that's his stage name. Yes.
The stage name, yes. That gentleman was from inside of New York. So, and he testified to participating in prostitution, which is the illegal sex work for money. So that is prostitution, but it's not interstate. It wasn't prostitution across state lines, which is the legal requirement, Carlos, for that element. So I could, for those that are counting the elements and say, hey, I'm trying to see RICO. I just walked you through RICO 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think the last one that I personally am still kind of waiting to see if they can totally button it up from the government side is the interstate piece. So, they could make the case that they've made it, but I'd like to see more evidence around the crossing of the state lines and the back and forth from Florida to New York to LA and more of that.
And just so I'm clear as well, the sort of crossing from state lines is an exchange for sexual acts with the intent of paying for these, right? So for example,
yes.
Yeah. So for example, let's say Puff lived in Los Angeles. If he paid somebody to go from New York City to Los Angeles in exchange for money to perform a sexual act, that is a part of
those are the elements. You just proved it. Yeah, your hypothetical is it. Somebody being transported across state lines for the purposes of paid sex. That's it.
Paid sex. Okay. Yep. Paid sex. Got it. Okay. So we're now getting into what people have been asking for the past 3 weeks in this trial is we are finally getting into the racketeering / RICO charges of it all. Ebony just broke it down. And Capricorn Clark's testimony, who is the former assistant, she did talk about, she claimed that Sean Combs showed up at her door with a weapon after finding out about Cassie and Kid Cudi's relationship and allegedly threatened to kill him.
Welcome, everybody.
Thoughts on that, Ebony?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is the kidnapping, you know, showing up at if the jurors believe what Capricorn Clark is saying, then they're hearing testimony of kidnapping by the hands of Sean Combs, personally, by the way, him saying, get in the car at gunpoint, per her testimony, as you said, and then her saying, I didn't feel free to leave, which is one of the thresholds of kidnapping. So that's very powerful. That's very damning, Carlos, because that goes to the list of the 35 different things. And for those that are curious, it's also robbery, arson, bribery, dealing in obscene matter. I mean, so that could even possibly be some of the things they found in the raids, some of the pornography and things of this nature, right? Sex trafficking, we talked about, human trafficking, involuntary servitude. Also, it could be embezzlement. Could be money laundering, could be obstructing of justice. That's a very broad one. So a lot of these facts fall into that one. Mail fraud, securities fraud, wire fraud. That's where the bookkeeping and what they testify to is going to matter a lot. Gambling, and there's just a bunch of things. Theft, terrorism, bunch of stuff, 35. So when she talks about being held up at gunpoint, forced into a car with Sean Combs and taken on the ride to Kid Cudi's house to then be the one to get Cudi on the phone and threaten him and basically say, Sean Combs is inside your house. So, you know, be on the swivel basically. And I'm sitting outside the house. Very damning testimony. I also want to point out when Capricorn Clark, Carlos, talks about being thrown into the East River by these big, large enforcer type of men, but head of security and this secondary man. And I want to be clear here, Carlos. I don't think that any entity to prove RICO, that it needs to look like Goodfellas and The Godfather. But I think people think that, right? Yes. I think people think if we're talking RICO, they think Rudy Giuliani, they think mafia, they think organized crime in that context, right? And anything that doesn't look like that, people struggle with seeing it. Okay. But what I'm laying out to you per the elements is that it doesn't need to look like that. But let's go with those that are predisposed to that optic. Well, I don't know. When you're telling me a big 300, 400 pound dude is threatening to throw me in the East River, is that not giving Goodfellas? Is that not giving Joe Pesci? Is that not giving Enforcer? I mean, I kind of want people to start seeing this is more than just threesomes and sexual proclivities. This is allegedly a business boss man, you know, Sean Combs, hiring and paying employees and subordinates in a commercial capacity on payroll, literally, to do the enforcing of his will, many of which qualify as illegal activity, from the kidnapping to the arson, potentially, again, the make Kid Cudi's car blow up and explode. Also, remember Capricorn Clark testified to something she did. Combs didn't like it, and he said, I should kill both you bitches, I think referring to her and Cassie, and I should cut her face, referring to Cassie. Again, this is not violent, because remember, one of the big things going into the case, Carlos, where a lot of people were saying that people that participated in this kind of world of Sean Combs did so on a voluntary basis. That's going to be one of the main defenses. When the defense, you know, kind of has the floor, which will be coming up in a few weeks, and they start calling their witnesses, you better believe, Carlos King, one of the main things they're going to argue is going to be that no matter how horrible and toxic this world you've been hearing about of Sean Combs sounds like, everybody that participated was an adult consenting on a volunteer basis. We're going to hear that from the defense. But when you juxtapose that with what Capricorn Clark is saying, I'm going to throw you in the East River and kill you and maybe cut your girl's face open, or that doesn't sound like volunteerism. That doesn't sound like somebody consenting as much as it sounds like fear, coercion, and force.
Yeah, because I also want to get into what you're saying about the enterprise being exposed in terms of everything that Capricorn Clark had to endure, which is why, to me, and you tell me if I'm wrong, as of today, it does appear that Capricorn Clark's testimony basing it off of establishing the enterprise is very important because she's giving us details about what it was like being a paid employee at Combs Enterprises and all the things that has allegedly happened. I'm going to talk about a few things that she mentioned, Ebony, and explain to us the sort of importance of why this is even being discussed. And I'll just give you guys some clip notes. She talked about, well, Clark testified that she was setting up hotel rooms, which Puff Combs typically stayed in with Kim Porter once a week. She said that part of her job was to set up hotel rooms with supplies, including a camera, bottles of baby oil, lube, and drugs such as ecstasy. And that she also testified that she would book weekly hotel rooms for himself and Cassie, where they would use IV drips for several days to help them recover from drug abuse. Okay. Last but not least, well, there's so many more she said, but I want to make sure we get to the points in terms of what Ebony is saying about setting up the enterprises. She said that after, which Ebony explained, these sort of forcible verbal insults and force that Puff did, she did quit. She said on stand that she came back to work for Cassie. She was responsible for managing Cassie's image and career. She said that Cassie was no Whitney Houston or Mariah Carey, but she had something she could work with. It was her who decided to purchase a burner phone once she learned Cassie was dating Kid Cudi. Capricorn stated today that when she told Cassie to move on from Diddy, she did say, well, Jay-Z is dating somebody else. Who am I supposed to be with? I wanted to break those up because what we talked about last week was people saying about Don Richard. Well, why did you come back and ask for money and a recording deal and for the band to get back together if he allegedly did all these things to you? Capricorn Clark acknowledged she did quit, but that she came back. She said for Cassie. And then obviously we're now hearing that she was sort of telling Cassie to leave the relationship. Cassie said Jay-Z is dating somebody else, which we now know he's married to Beyonce. Talk to us about the psychological aspect of that. You know, coming back to a place where you were threatened and physically pushed. And then Cassie at the...
Hold on a second. We got something that came in just now. Okay. Something just happened just now. Okay, here we go. Let's go right here.
Y'all, we are live on the courthouse steps, just to let y'all know. I'm not in my mama's basement, right? With the wall painted gray. We are live on the steps. It is a miserable, damp New York day. Shout out to Mel, watching the world, for loaning me his umbrella so I could actually go live and bring y'all the truth. Okay, so what's going on? I'm back. So anyway, y'all, let's get into this. What's going on? Diddy wants everybody's testimony thrown out. It's actually really, really shocking, appalling, but actually kind of silly that Diddy wants everybody's money thrown. He wants everybody's testimony thrown out. What? I'm not joking. He started with Dr. Hughes. Then he wants Cassie's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Kid Cudi's testimony thrown out. Then he wants Capricorn Clark's testimony thrown out. Listen, again, at the end of the day, we actually need to talk about this. A lot of Diddy supporters said they couldn't support the RICO. A lot of people said they couldn't support the crime. A lot of people said it's just domestic violence. But I think Diddy's proven time and time again that he cannot win this case on the facts. So he needs to win it by trial by ambush. Tell me what innocent man that is guilty of a RICO needs everybody's testimony throughout. Now, let me just be real. It's not going to happen because Diddy's team is also, I feel like they're looking the way things hit on social media, and then they're coming and they're like, objection, objection, objection. But a lot of that testimony, they should have objected in that real time. Let's talk about Capricorn Clark. He wants everything thrown out about the kidnapping Hey, how are you? Good morning. Hey, SLW. Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
No, hold on a second. Just got something to come in. Just 2 minutes ago. Let me get her in. Just 2 minutes ago, this just came in. Just bear with me. Where are we at? Right. It just came in. Here we go. Okay, here we go.
Joining us now, a very special guest, Lisa Kennedy.
This
I'm
is
sure you've seen her on the airwaves, and you can find her at dailymail.com, where she is a columnist. And I look forward to every single column you write, but I was especially intrigued by your Diddy column. But first, just remember this: whatever happens between me and thee about Diddy, we'll always have Murdoch. Remember that late night we spent together on the airwaves, me sitting out in front of the courthouse in the pouring rain and you in your cozy studio interviewing me? Good times. We'll always have that night, Kennedy. Now, to the matter at hand. Yes. Your article was amazing, but I'd like to hear, before I get to that, your thoughts on what's happening in the courtroom now. There was just a motion for mistrial by the defense because someone destroyed fingerprint cards that relate to Kid Cudi's arson, and which of course that would have killed Cudi if he had been in his Porsche, right? So catch this, Kennedy. In the car, they find the receptacle, which can be, a jar, a bottle. I've had a lot of Molotov cases. And who else could it be? It has to be Diddy, because it was a designer scarf. A designer scarf, like an Hermès, if that's the right pronunciation, like an Hermès scarf, was used as a wick for a Molotov. Okay. Hello?
That is no, that has Diddy all over it. But also, Cassie and Diddy were in an on-again, off-again relationship throughout a lot of their tumultuous union. And during one of those off periods, she was allegedly seeing Kid Cudi, and Diddy found out about it and absolutely lost his mind, because anyone in hip hop, especially someone who was more handsome and taller than him, was absolutely seen as an enemy, anyone who was a threat to his total control over Cassie. So when he found out that she and Scott had been talking, he lost his mind, and he told her he told her that he was going to kill her and Kid Cudi, and that he was going to blow up his car. So she has already testified to that. Obviously, the relationship was explosive, and if these accounts are to be believed, Diddy was the wick that was lit, and the incendiary device was placed in his car, and who knows if it was meant to kill him, but it was absolutely meant to send a message that you are supposed to stay away from Cassie, who was my property, and next time is going to be much worse, and it will be deadly. And we heard some pretty damning testimony from Diddy's former assistant, Capricorn Clark. And she talked about how he was violent, he was threatening, her work hours were absolutely impossible, how she was kidnapped at some point. She was also forced to testify, not testify, she was forced to undergo a lie detector test because he accused her of stealing some of his expensive diamond jewelry. So, the things that she said on the stand yesterday, I don't think bode well for Diddy. But, this is just as a civilian observer. I've met Diddy many times, starting back in the early 90s when he was just a record executive with an incredible ear for talent. And then, of course, he became a hip hop performer in his own right, and then an entrepreneur. And I had met him several times throughout his career, several iterations. And, there were always rumors that he would make vicious threats against people. And that was one of the reasons that so many people didn't come forward earlier, is they were fearful for their lives. They were fearful for their safety. He obviously...
Hey, Kennedy.
Yes.
You really got my attention when you said Kid Cudi is taller than Sean Combs. What, does Combs have a Napoleon complex? Oh, I can't wait.
I think he does.
This.
Yeah, I think he does.
How short is he?
He's shorter than me. I'm 5'9", and maybe he was wearing lips. I'm not sure. or maybe he needed some, or little beetle boots.
You know, Kennedy, you also point out, but first let me ask you about the claims many people are making that the state just hasn't proven coercion or force.
Come on.
And you, and I agree with you completely on this, point out all she endured, free coughs that go for days on end, repeat UTIs so bad that the antibiotics wouldn't even work anymore, developing mouth sores from hours and hours of with male sex workers, gastric issues, stomach issues because of all of the drugs, getting a male sex worker in her mouth till she can't. And then when she complained, Combs comes over and joins in. What idiot would think this was consensual?
Yeah, he joined in the pee party, and you know, she's talking about things in excruciating detail. And, you know, any of the female jurors on that panel have to be listening to this going, oh my God, that is absolutely inhumane, inexcusable treatment of another human being, particularly someone you claim to care about. You know, and one of the male prostitutes said that he so badly he could hear it in the other room. And when Diddy stormed out, she jumped into the gigolo's lap for, you know, out of fear and for some kind of protection. And the guy even said on the stand, I was worried that Diddy was going to kill me. You know, who was I to stand up to him? Because he's got bodyguards and a reputation, and obviously is willing to make good on some of those threats. If in the middle of, you know, a psychotically intimate moment, he's taking his girlfriend in the other room to beat the crap out of her.
My God.
You know, he'll stop at nothing
Hey,
to silence a male prostitute who could be his entire reputational undoing.
And Lisa, what do you make of him parading his family in the courtroom for what I say as a production, as a prop? And what do you make of people that still say Ventura stayed in it willingly?
I think that those people really need to educate themselves about abusive relationships and the cycles of abuse. And a person with so much access, money, and power, and the power he lorded over her in order to control her life. I don't think it's as simple as that. You know, and look at the bruises on her face. Look at the bruises on her body. Listen to her testimony. And, you know, any abuse survivor will tell you they do try and extricate themselves from the relationships over and over and over again. But that's why abusers are so terrifying, because they're so good at, again, love bombing you and winning back your trust, especially if part of the promise is, you know, stay with me, we'll live a wonderful life, you're going to be a superstar, I'm the only one who can make it happen, and if you leave me, I have a laptop and a tablet full of videos of you in compromising conditions, and the world will know that you are a worthless slut and you will never record or perform music again.
Wow. Okay. You need to get in that courtroom and give that closing argument, Kennedy. This article that I love so much that you wrote, titled Kennedy's Furious Reaction to Day 4 of Diddy Trial and the Nauseating Courtroom Moment That Will Be Impossible for This Jury to Ignore.
Okay, let's go over here. Okay, here we go. Let's go here. Let's get into it with what X got. Let's get into it what X had. Right now, somebody know we jumped over here to the shade room. We don't usually go into the shade room not that fast. Let's just see what we got here. Let's go right to Inner City Press, and the shade room got up theirs. Let's go. We are, let me see. Let me see what it is. Okay, let me see what I got here. Recent, okay. Thank you, all the new subscribers that's following me. Thank you. Okay, let's go here. Let's go back to Inner City Press. Okay, the shade room. Well, I put this in day. I thought the day was day. What day it is? I put day 13. Maybe I didn't even go. I gotta get it right. Okay, let's go back. Okay, that is. Okay, we should go and do something right here. The judge, Trump administrator. I'm coming up with it, you guys. I got to go all the way to this end to make sure the whole con started. Okay. That's something somebody playing a crossword puzzle. Wait a minute. Right now, I'm pulling from the shade room. The shade room. Okay, this got to be date. Okay. Okay, now we get in there. Okay. We down to inner city 4 hours ago. Mm-hmm. 2 hours ago. Let's go all the way down. We getting there. Ooh, yeah. I gotta see how this shit thing. I gotta see how this shit thing gotta go. See how this shit gotta go. I gotta see how this shit go. Okay, I'm going down there to the bottom, and I'm gonna come back up in a minute. Okay, these all just reposts. Okay, now here we go. Okay, let me come on back up here. Now, what's today? We're going to start with a repost at. Okay, here we go. We here. We did in fact with what happened for how did we do this? 4 hours. 2 hours. Okay, here we go. Okay, let me go right here. Okay, okay, no, that's just there for a comment. Okay, inner circle. Shoot, just 1 second, y'all. Okay, here we go. This is from this is starting to identify with inner circle. Okay, the state says what is revolt? That is vote. Wait a minute. I just slipped my hand a few minutes ago. Damn man, I got to take it easy. Take it easy. Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna have to go with this here. Y'all, week 2. You got week 2. The audio book on Diddy trial is up. Okay. You guys like to purchase? In fact, listen what's going on. That is from Inner City. I'm trying to catch what we were back when then did. Dang man, what is going on? Why I can't get a hold of this thing? Ooh, yeah. Okay. Okay, I'm almost there. Damn, man, I'm just getting, oh. Okay, here we go. I got to keep my hand on this here. Okay, it's saying, Stacey, what was Revolt Films? Mia say, Puff and I started it together. Stacey, were you still performing personal assistant duty? Mia say, Maya say yes. Stacey, how much did you get paid? Maya, I'm gonna call her Maya. 70,000. Then it was 100,000. Then we supposed to get bonuses. Okay. The state say, did you get them? Mia say no. Okay. Moving on up. Okay. Okay, this is what took place 4 hours ago. And Inner City Press, U.S. versus Sean Combs, day 12. Okay, so I got to go back to day 12. Okay, across the Nash, then victim, Nia, that's who is on the stand now. Defendants want her scrapbook to be impeached, to impeach her. Okay, that's on Sean's side. Over there on Diddy's side, they want to, what Mia said, the defense want her scrapbook and to impeach her, okay? Saying that she basically impeached, she is lying. Okay, here we go. Let's okay, now we're gonna how's everybody doing today on this here Thursday? Okay, okay, now I'm gonna have to go right here. Oh no, that's somebody want to play. Y'all, right now I'm dealing with Inner City Press. That is what I'm dealing with right now. Okay, now here we go. Okay. Okay, okay, yeah. Come on, man. Hold on. Come on. Okay, what we gonna do? What I'm gonna do? Okay, let me get you from here. Okay, let's go like this here. Let's say from up this way. Diddy trial day 12. This is the thread. The thread come from the shade room. Day 12 of the trial began with continued testimony from Nash, former stylist for Diddy, Cassidy, and who is still close friends with Cassidy. Well, not Cassidy, with Cassie. Till this day. An assistant for Sean passed and also slaved to take the stand. The court is identifying her. That was saying what the court is doing right now. Let me see what we got. Okay. Identify her as Mia as her true identity would not be revealed. Okay. Next, after that, it says from the shade room, Mia testified that Diddy had physical and sexual assault her multiple times. Oh my God, she said. He has thrown things at me. He threw me against the wall into a pool, ice bucket ice bucket on my head, slammed my arm into a door, and he sexually assaulted me. She was still asked for the sexual. Said the devil didn't take with Mia. That what Mia said. I think that's one. She was still asked for sexual assault happened more occasion than one. Okay, here we go. Mia confirmed she was sexual assault more than once. Okay, now let's go. Okay, I'm moving it. There you go. Y'all, it's a lot going on. That is basic coming from the shade room. Let me go over here to him. Okay, let me go over here to him. Let me get this here forward. Okay. Okay, here we go. 1 hour ago. State. Mr. Steele. Okay, this is. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. I gotta go. Okay. Okay. Okay, here we go. Well, yeah. Okay, yeah. 1 hour ago. State. Mr. Steele told us he anticipate he crossed between an hour or an hour and a half or 2 hours in no event longer than direct. Not to behold him, not to hold him. Judge said, this is the judge, I want to keep on schedule. Combs, that's still, this is still the basic is Combs' lawyer. How late will we be going? This is y'all, this is pertaining to what this was pertaining to yesterday. Judge, the latest at 4 p.m. Hold up, I gotta make sure that I got this right in the days. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me go. I'm gonna go in here. Hold on a second. Let me see. Let me go in here 1 second. This is what 5 days ago. No. Okay, here we go. Okay, here we go. Okay, that was January. Okay, here we go. Let me go right here. Dickie Donna Civil Sean Kong was sued for 20% rape by no, now that was says. So 855. What the hell? Unlock with membership. Okay. You guys, let's take a break. Let's take a break while I get this here. Okay. Oh, boy. Oh, hold on one second. Ah, damn, where's the phone at? Come on, thing. Yes. Okay. Yes. Let me lock this down. Okay. 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 Okay, repost. May 13th. Here we go. Yesterday. Okay, let's go. Open it up. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drop this here. This one came into yesterday. Let me go. Let me make sure you guys right here with me. Where everybody at? Okay. Let me put this on my page here. And it's good that. Okay, this is what happened yesterday. This is what happened yesterday. That I went on ahead and got this here from the inner city. I went on ahead and just paid for the year of what's a year on dealing fact of what he reported on. Okay, this is what they're talking about dealing fact with mesosilico. Yeah. Identified with the testimony, the witness on yesterday. Okay. I hope you guys can hear me over there. Wayne, hook me up on the phone. Call me to see if you can hear me. Because I don't went through a lot of come on. Hold up a minute. Okay, here we go. We hear what they are talking about identified with the testimony yesterday. They were telling the jury to scratch that. They didn't act like they didn't hear it. Okay. Wayne, hook me. Wayne, call me on the phone and see if you can hear me. Okay. Okay, this is from the judge. Okay. In response to the court invitation to submit a proposed instruction scribe, Mr. Minasella opinion about whether Mr. Cohn was telling the truth during the Soho House meeting. Okay, Wayne. Hey, can you hear me? You can hear me? Okay, Wayne. Okay, yeah, you can. Okay, you can. Okay, here we go. All right. The defendant requests that the court instruct the jury as follows if the motion to strike is granted. Okay, now here's what they were saying. They said that we hear testimony for witness Scott Milicello, I hope I can say that right, about a meeting with Mr. Cohn at the Soho House, during which Mr. Milicello said he asked about his car. That was Kid Cudi, or what Kid Cudi named is Scott. Okay, he will share his opinion for whether Mr. Cohn was being truthful during that conversation. The testimony regarding Mr. Scott opinion has been stricken from the record. Accordingly, you are to disregard and put out of your mind completely Scott, Mr. Scott, I'm calling him Mr. Scott, I can't pronounce it, but Mr. Scott testimony regardless of his opinion. Okay, that is what did affect me yesterday. They had to get a paper yesterday, but they had to get a paper on that so to show that they had that the judge had instructed them. Don't think about what that man say. And this is here. I'm gonna. Okay, I got it all down. Okay. Now we are on the road. Now I got us now. Mm-hmm. Okay, I don't need that. Take that out. Okay. Now let's go. We going back over here on the docket. Okay, and I already did the attachment, so I can get into here. Where we are at. Okay, we did that. Yes. Okay. On yesterday, this is on the docket from yesterday. This is how he put it up. Okay, this is from yesterday. They was talking about okay. This is what the first week of Sean, the state versus Sean Cohn, the trial that we were talking in the court about filing for whether or not to include even in the seal or redux form in the public docket. Okay. Now, one thing about it now, with this here stuff here, the public don't get this here. The public they can get it, but they got to pay for it. Okay. They have to pay for it in order to get this here. Okay, this is all this here what took place yesterday, how they had filed 12 papers. 12 papers on this situation here. So, excuse me, I'm sorry. So, okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and look at the attachment. Come on here. Let's open up. Okay, so Julia should be first. Okay, here we go. Boy, they got everything packed. Okay. Okay, right here, did in fact with this judge. This is a different judge that is handling this part here. Okay, different here is Judge Solomon Pursuit to the court order, docket number 342 attached. Please find that the government email corresponded to find to and from the court consider evidence, object, or application for other release. Okay? They needed some more information. They want them to release some, so they are dealing back with papers. Okay, so here we go. Dear Judge, and of course they had to put it to the chamber too. As a decision on the record at the conclusion of yesterday's conference, the government and the defense had been confirming on certain statement in the government expert to introduce during the testimony of victim number 1, who is expected to be called as early as Monday, as May 12th. That was last week. Yeah. Attached is the chart set for these statements. The government and defense, this here is going to give you what statement that they have that they is going to ask victim number 1. Okay, so anyway, I would consider victim number 1 is Cassie. Okay. So anyway, they have it here. What question today is going to ask her? Okay, here we go. Attach it to the statement. The government and defense will continue to conference about the defense position regardless of fair oral evidence 106. But the government seek that the court ruling on statement defense are objected to highlight in the yellow in the attachment chart. The relevant and evidence had been provided to the court. Okay, they sent that to the court. Let's see what they got right here. Okay, they ain't gonna let us scan it out. Okay, right here. For this reason set out in this section of 1 and 2 of the government motion in Lyman attached in the conversation. So basic, when you go ahead, the conversation is being attached to what it was talking about. The government seeks a ruling that these statements will receive in evidence and pursue in hearsay exception set forth in this attachment chart. Additional with how did they got that? Okay. Additionally, with respect to the cross-examination of victim 1, the defense have refused to comment to whether they will require about the assault committed by victim 1. Unrelevant to the defense, and then they got that C government. And they got MIL Mills at section, I think section 5. And it's telling you what about in that title. Okay. For the reasons set out for the government motion in the limo, the government seeks a ruling from the court to pursue these lines of cross-examine. Okay. Okay, let us go here. I have this. Let me see. Could I got it, and it's all downloaded in here. Let's go. I'm trying to get things situated here, where we can just keep on moving on. Because I got the dockets now. What is going on? I have those. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, let's go back where we are at right here. Let's go back in here. Then we're going to see what... Let me get out of here. Okay, let me go in here.
Breaking news tonight.
Here we go. Let's go right here. I got to take everything else out. Here we go here. Oh my God, Jesus.
Is safe to stay so that it won't jeopardize the case in any way. I will share everything I know about Mia. But yeah, Ben had this tea. It was confirmed by seeing her, but I honestly...
Okay, you got to
listen.
Hey, real Mama Fifi.
You gotta have.
Diddy case.
Good. You'll get what I'm saying. It's not worth it. And if that makes somebody mad, I'm sorry. If y'all feel like I should tell you, you get your butt in here and you go upstairs and you take the victim and dox them just so they can help Diddy's team dox them. Shara, thank you so much for the super chat. For the cash app. Also, Wolfie said you're beautiful, brilliant, and you found your niche. Keep up the fantastic work.
Okay, let's go.
Literally cooked Diddy's defense team. He finished the cross-examination. He did what needed to be done. He let Diddy know. And let me tell you something. When Deontay Nash was testifying, let me wipe my screen. When Deontay Nash was testifying, Diddy was hot. Diddy was bothered, and Deontay was just twisting it in. And I said, baby, we'd love to see it. However, we did actually find out who Mia is. Why is this so devastating? Because, and let me walk you in before we reveal the Mia thing, okay? Why is this so devastating? Well, it's devastating for a number of things. Diddy wants you to believe that all the extreme violence he did toward Cassie was related to domestic violence. It wasn't a pattern. It wasn't a RICO. It wasn't anything to do with forfeiture, because federal forfeiture, because baby Diddy needs to keep all his houses and all his money. No. Diddy wants us to believe that this is just grown people mess. What people do in relationships. Diddy wants to push that incel, toxic, pick me narrative of it was just jealousy gone wrong. If Cassie had just stayed in the house, jumped up, stood on one leg, barked like he told her, none of this would have happened. If Cassie was a better woman, if she had learned to be a better cook, if she had done anything, then guess what? She would have never had to worry about the violence. What did Kalina say? When she was on that one thing, if she wanted to be treated like a queen, she had to act like one. However, with Mia's testimony, it ties in the RICO, it ties in the coercion, it ties into everything, and we made notes. Now, I know y'all want to know who Mia is. We are about to get into this, but they have been dropping clues the whole time. And the funny thing is, and my estimation is correct, Mia's ex-boyfriend or then whatever has been on behalf of Diddy already starting the rah-rah and bad-mouthing about 2 weeks ago. Keep in mind, Diddy knows who Mia is. The courts know who Mia is. They even showed the jury her passport photo, I believe. So she is known, and if you know her, you know her. So, Shanika Bellencourt said, was Mia on VH1? I want to work for Diddy. Amy Smith Hightower sent one gift. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. Also, where are we at? Did I miss any things? Okay, thanks, guys. All right, first of all, we had to talk about Deontay Nash's testimony, okay? Now, listen, I don't know what the defense thought they were doing with prosecution, but they never had a witness like Deontay Nash. He is a celebrity stylist. He came in cute with a folded balloon, jeans, oversized on his Tokyo Drift mask. He had on a little jacket. I think it was the Rick Owens jacket. Maybe he was doing what needed to be done. I said, let me inbox Deontay because I need a stylist. Y'all always telling me I be out here looking crazy. I need a stylist. Mama want to do that thing. All right, but let me be serious, okay? But I am going to reach out to Deontay. Deontay, the defense tried to trip him up so much. And isn't it true? He was asking questions, and all of a sudden Deontay was like, let me stop you right there, okay? I introduced Cassie to Michael B. Jordan, and he dispelled the lies about whether Diddy and Cassie were together. Oh, so you introduced her while she had a man? And she's like, everybody, they broke up. Oh, how'd you find out? He said, Diddy's staff told me. Everybody knew they broke up because Diddy was out here running the streets with Gina. Then they were like, oh my God, was she jealous of Gina? Deontay looked at him and said, I mean, at first, but she looked at it like, okay, good. He was right. She said, Cassie was impressed about Gina. Again, I can see why. Gina ain't have no benefits. Gina was just a side girl. And this ain't no shade to Gina, because I'm sure she is in the middle of some sort of abusive relationship. I don't know. I don't want to speak about it, but she is still with Diddy, and judging by the way Diddy behaves, yeah, Gina is nah. Florcy LaBelle, thank you so much for joining. Eileen Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. Ivy Curtis said, love your content, lunch on me. Thank you, Ivy. Also, Tammy Payton, thank you so much for the super chat. Designed by Phoebe said, always so beautiful. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you. Just wait till I reach out to Deontay Nash. She gonna get me together. Also, Lloyd J. Diggs, thank you so much for the super chat. Sports Talk Highlights and more said, y'all make sure you follow Sports Talk Highlights and more. Said, we found Mia was Sarah Sneaker. She and Diddy was executive producing a show about her life. Google it, everyone. Let me just say this, right? Let me get back to the Deontay story, and then we're going to hit Mia. There was a lot that happened in court. I've got about like 25 more minutes with y'all. We're going to break it all down, right? That's the ambulance they sitting to revive Diddy's career, right? Okay, first of all, Deontay was like, remember this whole thing that last weekend was trending about how Cassie was a ho, and Cassie was cheating on Diddy and all this other stuff, right? But Teresa,
wait a minute. We can get back to her.
Welcome to TMZ Live. Harvey Levin here. Charles here. So, allegations this morning in the Diddy trial of dirty pool on the part of prosecutors for trying to poison the jury.
So dirty, according to Diddy's defense, that they demanded a mistrial in this whole case, which, as you can imagine, caused quite an uproar in court and a lot of arguing about this. It all has to do with Kid Cudi's car and the fire that was set off in his
we'll go back to that. Hold on. Let's go back.
These questions in court too. Mia is a completely
hold up a second.
The Mia thing, okay? Why is this so devastating? Well, it's devastating for a number of things. Diddy wants you to believe that all the extreme violence he did toward Cassie was related to domestic violence. It wasn't a pattern. It wasn't a RICO. It wasn't anything to do with forfeiture, because federal forfeiture, because baby Diddy needs to keep all his houses and all his money. No. Diddy wants us to believe that this is just grown people mess. What people do in relationships. Diddy wants to push that incel, toxic, pick-me narrative of it was just jealousy gone wrong. If Cassie had just stayed in the house, jumped up, stood on one leg, barked like he told her, none of this would have happened. If Cassie was a better woman, if she had learned to be a better cook, if she had done anything, then guess what? She would have never had to worry about the violence. What did Kalina say? When she was on that one thing, if she wanted to be treated like a queen, she had to act like one. However, with Mia's testimony, it ties in the RICO, it ties in the coercion, it ties into everything, and we made notes. Now, I know y'all want to know who Mia is. We are about to get into this, but they have been dropping clues the whole time. And the funny thing is, and my estimation is correct, Mia's ex-boyfriend or then whatever has been on behalf of Diddy already starting the rah-rah and bad-mouthing about 2 weeks ago. Keep in mind, Diddy knows who Mia is. The courts know who Mia is. They even showed the jury her passport photo, I believe. So she is known. And if you know her, you know her. Shanika Bellencourt said, was Mia on VH1? I want to work for Diddy. Amy Smith Hightower sent one gift. Thank you so much for gifting a membership. Also, where are we at? Did I miss anything? Okay, thanks, guys. All right, first of all, we had to talk about Deontay Nash's testimony, okay? Now, listen, I don't know what the defense thought they were doing in prosecution, but they never had a witness like Deontay Nash. He is a celebrity stylist. He came in cute with a folded balloon, jeans, oversized on his Tokyo Drift mask. He had on a little jacket. I think it was the Rick Owens jacket. Maybe he was doing what needed to be done. I said, let me inbox Deontay because I need a stylist. Y'all always telling me I be out here looking crazy. I need a stylist. Mama want to do that thing. All right, but let me be serious, okay? But I am going to reach out to Deontay. Deontay, the defense tried to trip him up so much. And isn't it true? He was asking questions, and all of a sudden Deontay was like, let me stop you right there, okay? I introduced Cassie to Michael B. Jordan. And he dispelled the lies about whether Diddy and Cassie were together. Oh, so you introduced her why she had a man? And she's like, everybody, they broke up. Oh, how'd you find out? He said, Diddy's staff told me. Everybody knew they broke up because Diddy was out here running the streets with Gina. Then they were like, oh my God, was she jealous of Gina? Deontay looked at him and said, I mean, at first, but she looked at it like, okay, good. He was right. She said, Cassie was impressed about Gina. Again, I can see why. Gina ain't have no benefits. Gina was just a side girl. And this ain't no shade to Gina because I'm sure she is in the middle of some sort of abusive relationship. I don't know. I don't want to speak about it, but she is still with Diddy. And judging by the way Diddy behaves, yeah, Gina is nah. Florcy LaBelle, thank you so much for joining. Eileen Bell, thank you so much for the super chat. Ivy Curtis said, love your content. Lunch on me. Thank you, Ivy. Also, Tammy Payton, thank you so much for the super chat. Designed by Phoebe said, always so beautiful. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you. Just wait till I reach out to Deontay Nash. She gonna get me together. Also, Lloyd J. Diggs, thank you so much for the super chat.
Okay, you guys, let me give you a rundown who Gina is. You remember? Oh, shoot. You remember Gina was the one that supposed to testify, so she changed her mind, said she's not gonna testify. She was the blonde hair, white chick with the long hair, Gina. Anyway, that's the one right there. This is who we talking about right there. But she said that getting abused or something pertaining like the Diddy, that's who they talking about. Her. That is Gina. Okay, let's go back.
Got Sports Talk Highlights and More said, y'all make sure you follow Sports Talk Highlights and More. Said we found Mia was Sarah Snedeker. She and Diddy was executive producing a show about her life. Google it, everyone. Let me just say this, right? Let me get back to the Deontay story, and then we're going to hit Mia. There was a lot that happened in court. I got about like 25 more minutes with y'all. We're going to break it all down, right? That's the ambulance they sitting to revive Diddy's career, right? Okay, first of all, Deontay was like, remember this whole thing that last weekend was trending about how Cassie was a ho, and Cassie was cheating on Diddy and all this other stuff, right? But Therese Hopkins said, girl, you're going to mess around and they're going to name a Barbie after you. Tisa tells it's gonna be called Running Late Barbie, right? As long as they got that Barbie's edges late, we good. Hill, known at Black TV, said, hi, Tisa, best ever. Keep up the amazing reporting. Love you. Thank y'all. Okay, so listen. Deontay was like, I was told by Diddy's staff that Diddy and Cassie had broken up. Diddy was all over South Beach with Gina. Cassie was filming the movie. I saw Michael B. Jordan. I said, hell, you fine, he fine. Let's get y'all together. And he said, and yes, I pushed him to call him, right? Diddy was sitting there mad, getting upset. Hey, Ashley Osborne, thank you so much for the cash app. Was sitting there mad, upset. I said, Diddy's about to have a convulsion. And Deontay was loving it. He was literally sitting there unbothered. He said, oh, so Cassie was the one to pursue Michael B. Jordan? Deontay was like, not really. I mean, a little bit, but they was just talking, right? Helping Karma said, love your positivity and kindness. Thank you. M said, always looking forward to your breakdowns. Thank you. And life lessons, the Lion said, Diddy is a demon. He is. Love you, Tisa. Super Chef Ty said, I'll buy the Tisa tells all. Oh, thank y'all. So listen, right? So Deontay was digging it in. He said, and then they said, do you know this person, Andre something? He said, who's that? Oh, you mean the cute football player? Then they said, do you know somebody else? She's like, you mean the cute NBA player? Yeah, I know all that. Because again, everybody 2 weekends ago that was literally like Cassie was probably going through early labor pains, talking about, oh my God, you cheated on Diddy, to come to find out that Diddy was cheating on her the whole time. I've said it once and I've said it again. You cannot, if you got hoes, if you cheating, we're not in a relationship. And I don't got to tell you, you just forfeited. We both cheating. Just know, if you're cheating, we're both cheating. You just don't know about it yet. Okay? C-Call R said, Sarah Snyder. Neat, thank you so much for the super chat. Okay, Deontay also let us know that Diddy's violence was unmatched. Kim Shaw Christensen said, love your coverage and energy. Thank you for keeping the rest of us in the know. Listen, let me just tell y'all something. When I get home for a further breakdown, we are going to break down every little quip, one-liner, and Deontay, they wasn't ready for Deontay. And I see why Herm and Cassie are still like this to this day. They did try something toward the end when they're like, remember when you said that Cassie said, I don't want to do quick calls anymore? He was like, yeah. He said, haven't you been interviewing with the government since last year? She said, yeah. He said, well, then why is it Cassie ended up testifying on the 16th. I said, okay. They said, and then all of a sudden, on the 17th, you meet with Cassie. He said, that's correct. You mean Mrs. Fine? That's correct. Then they were like, and Deontay was just sitting there playing with them. He was too quick with it for Diddy's team. He said, that's correct. Also, why were all of Diddy's boys in court today supporting this? I don't know. Or were they trying to intimidate, show of force? It was really weird. Now, I'm not saying they were doing anything particularly violent, but I just find it the way that they were gone for all those many days. And as soon as Deontay shows up, they all sitting there in full force. Again, maybe it was nothing. But you know, Diddy's middle name is intimidation. So, I don't know. Maybe the apple don't fall far from the intimidation tree.
Tuesday.
Okay. So Deontay was like, okay, yeah, I met with her on 17th. And they were like, so when did you tell the government that she didn't want to do the free calls? He said, I don't quite know. Then they were like, okay, well, if that's the case and you don't know, is it not true that you didn't even mention it until after? Hey, there go Mel. Hey, what's up, Mel? Is that true that you didn't even mention it till afterwards, right? And he was like, he was like, not necessarily. He's like, you didn't mention it till after you met with Cassie. And he said, so why did you just get it the day after you met with her? Because y'all talk every day, right? Y'all do this and that. And he was like, because that's when the government asked me. That's when the government asked me. Mel, you want to give your opinion? Hold on, we're going to get Mel to get an opinion. That's when the government asked me. And Diddy's team was like, because they were trying to imply. Also, on Diddy's team, all those things they said about getting Dr. Hughes' testimony out and all this other stuff, stop listening to these people. Nothing got thrown out. Everything got to say. Diddy, you really thought you was going to get 2 weeks of testimony thrown out? Have you lost your, of course you lost your mind. Anyway, we got Mel. What's up, Mel?
Hey, Mel from Watching the World 777 on YouTube and TikTok.
He is doing correspondence all over YouTube. I'm trying to get him to make an appearance, but make sure y'all follow Mel. Mel, what was your take so far with Deontay and also where we're at with Mia?
Deontay, I was okay with him. He was a little too testy for me. I thought he came across.
I loved it.
You know, it was a little challenge. But today, I was almost emotional hearing her. She couldn't even get her words together. So she came across as very convincing. I saw some of the jury that I thought would swing for Diddy. I saw them today put their heads down. So,
oh my God,
we're in deep trouble right now. Well,
Diddy's in deep trouble.
As far as Diddy's side for the defense. As far as the prosecutors, we're very strong right now. So that's just how it goes. But these people were beaten senseless, and I don't condone it. That's all I can tell you.
Thank you, Mel. Why don't you give your socials one more time?
Watching the World 777, and all men, don't abuse women, children, don't abuse nobody. Behave yourself. Thanks.
Exactly. Thank you, Mel. Okay, Becky said sending you, or Becky said sending this one just to hear. Yana, thank you for all you're doing. All right, y'all. So also, Helping Karma said Diddy has years of freak offs in his future, only with no baby oil. Gross. Okay, we're about to get to Mia because the way she came in, hold on, let me give y'all a visual. You mind holding this really quick right there? Thank you. So Mia came in like this. Mia came in and she was just all in tan. And she came in like Professor Snape. When I say she looked like she had seen better days, she looked like an abused puppy. She came in like Professor Snape, just like this. She had her bangs in her face. She came in, she looked like an abused puppy. She was looking left and right. She came, she stood on the stand. She's like, hi. Yes, that is my passport photo. And every single time she opened her mouth, it sounded like she was, it sounded like she was breaking down. It was actually really, really sad to see. Janine Fullerton got me hooked on TT. Yes. Listen, I'm not even trying to make fun of her. She literally did look terrified. She looked broken. She looked like an abused puppy. Now, Diddy's side looked like they were rolling their eyes, not the thing, but the people and the supporters. But at the end of the day, whether she was being genuine or fake, at the end of the day, whether she was like saying like real or fake, at the end of the day, it did what needed to be done. But here's the thing. Anybody that thought she was faking, oh, no, my man. You are sorely mistaken. Because when she started talking, you knew that this wasn't an act. You knew that this man had broken her. She talked about how she had to work, right? She's talked about how she had to work hours, had to do this. Then she talked about the fight when she came in saying, Cassie, you drunk? Jumped on Cassie. Remember Cassie got that big gash on her head? Right. And the thing is, they're restricting, hold on, I'm getting an itch in my hair. They are restricting testimony. So that's why we're getting different angles from the story, right? She told the story about when Cassie got her eyes split open, the way they were fussing this and that. Diddy's eyes had blacked out. They thought he was going to murk Cassie, right? Beauty with Flaws said, keep going, my favorite YouTube reporter. They said, so Diddy thought that, hold on a second, let me show y'all. Diddy, so they said they came in, and Diddy came into the house like, what the F is you? You've been drinking? And they were just like, oh my God. They said that Diddy jumped on Cassie and was just slinging her around, beating her up, kicking and hitting her, right? They jumped on Diddy's back. Diddy was like a Tasmanian devil and literally was throwing them off, slamming them to the wall. She said at one point, she saw him holding Deontay and she was like, he is going to kill this man. So she jumped on Diddy's neck. Oh my God. And literally peeled into the wall. Then she said to her horror, he saw her pick up Cassie. She said Cassie had like a very modern platform bed, and you couldn't miss the sharpest wood. And he literally, after they were trying to jump on him, he literally lifted Cassie up, lifted that girl's body up, and slammed her head into the bed. And when her face busted open and blood started going everywhere. When the blood started going everywhere, Diddy didn't miss a beat. Diddy then calmly said, yo, call so-and-so to get the plastic surgeon on the line and tell the plastic surgeon to fix Cassie's face because she was drunk and she tripped. Diddy been busting people's heads open so much, he got a plastic surgeon online. Now, when I heard that, I said, didn't they say that Diddy did something to Kim Porter on the yacht? On the yacht when she was having the time of her life and a plastic surgeon had to be flown in to help her. They said send it to Dr. So-and-so and do that stuff, right? Beauty with Flaws said, keep going, my favorite YouTuber. Thank you. Muy Intelligente said, thank you for the coverage. You are the bomb. Eileen Bell, thank you so much for being a member for months. Alejandro Andra People, thank you so much. Cicely Hudson, oh my God, thank you for the cash app. Carolyn Williams, thank you so much for the generous super chat. Cash Blue said, Lauren London is guilty too. Long live Nipsey Hussle. Now listen, everybody says Lauren London is very, very loyal to Cassie, but it's going to be interesting to see who she testifies for because she's super tight with Diddy. Solomon Grimm said, Tisa, you're actually channeling this trial. You should make t-shirts for the guilty verdict. Your Honor in the front and Diddy did it on the back. Oh my God, that's a great, hold on. I like that idea. Thank you, Solomon. If I make those t-shirts, I'll give you a free one for coming up with that. Thank y'all so much. Your Honor. And then Diddy did it, right? So anyway, Jane Doe has already started testifying. We're on break until 1:15. I'm about to be on this for like 20 more minutes and I got to run inside. Okay? Anyway, the fact that you've been busting people's heads, so did you have a plastic surgeon on speed dial and you already have this? When I tell you the stories Mia was telling us, it was ridiculous. Now, I got to be honest with you. I think I know who Mia is. I think that Diddy, remember that passport? If I'm not mistaken, and we'll see, I believe that based upon the information believe that Mia is going to testify that Diddy gang raped her by a pool in somewhere in Europe and then left her there, took her passport and said that B can find her own way back. At first I thought it was Capricorn Clark, but no, it wasn't Capricorn Clark. He literally, if I'm not mistaken, gang rape, we'll see after the trial too, but she also said that she's about to testify that that Diddy has SA'd her multiple times. Lucy Garcia said, I look forward to your coverage on this case. Also, Table Talk with Mimi exclusive. Make sure y'all follow Table Talk. Said, hey Tisa, I know you're not negative, but what was going on with the defense is trash, and the content creator I know who look out for starting with a D. I don't know who that is. Y'all know I be in my own world of peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Miss Panama, we ain't got time for that. We're trying to report a trial. Baby, we are trying to report a trial. We're not in the drama. We don't got time. I don't know what's going on in the outside world. I just know what's going on between me and you, and baby. We good. Miss Panama, thank you so much for the super chat. Mr. Master Mistake Maker said, Tisa, tell the truth. Thank you, right? I did get to see the mysterious Mia. She was dressed all in tan. She looked like she was very abused. She had like light Can I say it? She had light blonde hair. I do want to say this though. I figured out who Mia is. I know exactly who she is. I'm not going to say her name because I think, and I'm sorry guys, I think that Diddy's going to go out of his way to dox her, to get negative stories, and to harass this woman. Mia looks fragile. She looks broken. She is not suing Diddy. Diddy can't save us everything. She endured years of torment, and now she's bravely. However, I do think that she's going to testify that Diddy gang raped her over in Europe, right? Got mad at her after he gang raped her, left her there, and then, if this is the woman I think it is, and then took her passport and flew everybody back on a private jet and then left her overseas and said that B can find her own way back. If this is to say Mia, absolutely limited edition. Listen, let me tell y'all something, right? I know everybody wants me to say Mia's name. I'm 90% certain this is who the girl is. She was, and I gotta be honest with you, y'all know I would love it for this video to get to like 1 million, but I gotta be honest with you. I'm covering this trial because I actually want to see justice for Diddy. And I don't want to say anything that the defense can use to get that monster off. And Diddy's people are watching, and the defense are watching, and the court's watching. And again, y'all know I love talking trash, but I do have to be responsible. I do have to be responsible, and I do have to honor SA victims. But when Mia is done testifying, and when it is safe to stay so that it won't jeopardize the case in any way, I will share everything I know about Mia. But yeah, I've been had this tea. It was confirmed by seeing her, but I honestly, babe, you listen. You gotta have, y'all get what I'm saying. It's not worth it. And if that makes somebody mad, I'm sorry. If y'all feel like I should tell you, you get your butt in here and you go upstairs and you take the victim and dox them just so they can and help Diddy's team dox them. Shara, thank you so much for the super chat. For the cash app. Also, Wolfie said you're beautiful, brilliant, and you found your niche. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank y'all so much. Also, Tracy Solch, thank you so much for the super chat. And Valentine's TV said, I just love your genuine heart. Thank you so much. Art by IHG, thank you so much for the super chat. Also, Hibiscus Rose said, don't say it, we respect it. Exactly. The people that are in the courtroom, some people figured it out. Geraldine Patton, some people have figured it out, but I'm not going to do anything to jeopardize the case. It's not. Okay. Eileen said, stay righteous. You guys, thanks so much. But it's not even about being righteous. It's just the fact that this case is ongoing and it's living and breathing. And I'm not going to be the one to dox someone that was brave enough to come. And the more this case goes on, the more you realize how truly dangerous Diddy is, in my opinion. And the more you realize that, like, I even feel for Dom Richards, because Dom Richards testified, but she's still out there. She's still in the industry. She can still get touched. Listen, Dawn was very brave. Mia's very brave. Cassie was very brave. And I'm going to do my part to make sure they see it to the defense line, right? Table Talk with Mimi. Make sure y'all follow Mimi. Said defense is trash. It was wrong. Big with their question. It's like, what's your point? The defense was beyond trash. It was just meandering, like, oh my God, you're wasting our time. Wendy Peppercorn said, thank you for doing the right thing by Mia. You're welcome. Y'all gotta thank me. I'm always, and Pamela Fine, to your point, protect survivors. I'm always gonna protect survivors. And Rhonda Lee said, we got you and respect your integrity. Y'all get what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, no matter what this is about, and yeah, sometimes it is funny, sometimes it is ridiculous, sometimes it is heartbreaking, but we will never lose sight that it is protecting survivors. Now, that said, right? SP said, keep being amazing, love your energy. Do you think Diddy's team will hunt down Mia for doing this? They already knew who it is at 100%. And the funny thing is, I don't want to dox her, but the team in the last has already been ramping up. Jad Yazzie said, Tisa, you're a real one. Thanks for not sharing her name. We appreciate you, sis. And Blue Sky says, check with an attorney before you say anything. I'm not going to say her name until the prosecution okays it. Not that I talk to the prosecution directly, but until the prosecution okays it, I'm not. What is going on with my face? I got to stop drinking that. I'm not going to say anything. Okay, so listen. Here's the funny thing. Let me tell y'all really quick how Mia's testimony connects with everything. Okay, hold on, y'all. Listen to what it is, right? What did Mia prove in her testimony? And baby, listen, They haven't even gotten into the nitty gritty. The horror is just unfolding. They spent all morning laying down foundation. I said, they about to ride this till the wheels come off. They said that they were going to be questioning Mia on direct until the end of the day. Diddy is done for. My Shepherd Pie said, praying for victims and justice. And Chocolate Soul said, Tisa, you're also human. Keep up the great work. Y'all, thank you so much. But I know that you all are right there with me. Like, it's not worth the view and the click, even though I want them all, right? But at the end of the day, it's not worth it to literally put a case in danger and to dox a victim, that doesn't want to be known. So listen to this really quick. What did Mia in her testimony already assert? She literally solidified that Diddy had complete financial control over Cassie and that he used her houses, her cars, her apartments. Danielle Williams, thank you so much for the super chat. Her houses, cars, and everything were paid by Combs Global. Why is that important? Because you just solidified federal forfeiture law, meaning that if they get you, whatever offense they get you on, you use your company assets to do it, which means that they are taking all of that. You can maybe beat some of the charges, but baby, they are going to take everything you own. Khaled Dream said, don't feel pressure to tell us who Mia is. Anyone here who matters understands perfectly. Thanks for your eyewitness reporting. I don't feel pressured at all. Please. There was a bully campaign to get me to stop reading super chats. And if I told everybody to go to hell, I damn sure don't feel pressure to somebody yelling at me about why I won't expose an SA victim. Please, me pressure, right? Now, she also confirmed Deontay's story and also laid more groundwork for that RICO charge. She was an employee, a high-level employee of Sean Combs Global. He told her, go help Cass. Your job is to babysit. Your job is to keep tabs on Cass. He told me to do it. She is solidifying the RICO that he used Combs Global as a cover to sex traffic women that he lured them in. Oh my God, Brandy Epps, thank you so much for. You said justice for those who have and haven't survived. Exactly. Thank you so much, Brandy. He used Combs Global as a cover to actually lure women in thinking they were in the relationships and treat them nothing like they were like sex workers. Exactly what it is, right? They talk about the communication methods, email, phone, text. He would always send multiple employees to find Cassie. Security would show up. She was dragged back. Again, the RICO, the sex trafficking. And he used employees to do it, not friends. And the security wasn't private security. It was Combs Global Security. Also, Cece said, love you, Tisa, from the
Okay, hold up. Oh, boy, my God, today. Hold on a second, y'all. Boy, here we go. Let me get. Okay, this is what I put day number 13 is day 12. Okay, here we go. Let's go here.
How this element of control, right? They need to talk about the control because, for sex trafficking cases, you got to have this coercion, this fraud, these threats. Jennifer, there was a moment throughout the testimony where he talked about Diddy's control over Cassidy. Did they move the needle though?
They did.
Lord, I hope we ain't getting back into no more beating.
She testified, of course, that she did feel coerced, and there has been a series of witnesses who were corroborating her in certain respects. But this witness I thought was really powerful because he got down to specifics that she was told that her music wouldn't come out, that her career would be stalled, that she was told that the sex tapes would be released. It would ruin her reputation. So this control is not just a vague thing. It's like a concrete thing. These are the specific ways in which I saw him controlling her. I thought that was very powerful.
I mean, you agree?
Yeah, and I also think, look, he corroborated the physical violence, but it was a step further than that. He talked about times when Deontay saw Diddy come to find Cassie with like 5 or 6 of these security guards that we've heard so much about. The intimidation factor, that she was being beaten, that she was trying to hide from him, and he was hunting her down and finding her. So that speaks to this element of coercion, force, fraud, and coercion, which is in the sex trafficking statute, that she was living under this threat during this period of time. And to me, that really moved the needle on that aspect of the case.
He was talking about that, right? I mean, he was describing how, just to paraphrase, she had nowhere to run. She tried to go to a hotel. And she was supposed to call Deontay on the phone when she got to the safe house, this hotel. When she called, Diddy saw the phone and saw the hotel pop up. They then went to the hotel and told him to go get her. I mean, at one point she describes even perhaps taking drastic steps.
Yes, and now that my mic is working, I can read you part of this direct testimony from Deontay Nash, which is actually talking about that instance that you're referencing, Laura, but before. So he speaks about how Diddy shows up to his home and starts searching for Cassie. Here's what he said.
Oh my God.
He came in and he was like, where the F is she? He started looking all around my house, in the closets. He went in the oven. I don't know why he looked in the oven. He asked me where she was. Then when the prosecutor said, who is she? He clarified that it's Cassie. And then after he looked around his house, then he asked for his car keys and took his phone. So as Misty said, it feels like there was this culture of fear and monitoring and intimidation, at least according to Deontay Nash's testimony. And again, he was someone who was not just inside Combs's and Cassie's inner circle as a stylist. He was one of Cassie's best friends. So he really was hearing from her in real time what she perceived was happening.
And they're still very close, right?
Very close. In fact, he said that he spoke to her yesterday to congratulate her for the birth of her baby boy, which is really kind of an incredible turn of events after her testimony that we saw across the course of 4 days. Of course, she was very pregnant when she testified. But Deontay Nash was asked about how close he was with Cassie still, and he said, we're very close. I spoke to her yesterday. He was also, by the way, asked if he still speaks to Combs, and he did admit that he has stayed in touch with him. He said it in a very nonchalant way, basically like, of course I would talk to him. He's Sean Combs. And when asked how he feels about him being there today in court, he said, I don't hate him. It's not in me.
It was an amazing moment. And just the idea of all the people that Misty was talking about who were there. I mean, security is ever present when you're talking about any of these allegations. In building the enterprise, the prosecution is trying to show the inner circle and people who worked for Bad Boy more broadly. They weren't just doing maybe legitimate work on the different entities, but they were also the right-hand men and sometimes women, they allege, of Sean Diddy Combs. But what about the fact that this witness is an employee, and he, along with another person who was named a former chief of staff, they were trying to help her escape through the side. Does that undermine that the whole enterprise was working in cahoots with Sean?
So here's my view. There's no question that Nash furthers the narrative with respect to control, with regard to abuse, and with regard to coercion. No question about it. The bruising, the weekly visits in the hotel she didn't want to do. The issue with me is the causal relationship between his abusiveness, his coercive, his need for control. How's your hair? How's your makeup? What are you wearing today? Where are you? I'm going to look for you in this house, even in an oven, right? Because I'm just so maniacal. But is that...
And that irrational part might undercut it, you're saying?
Yes. But is there a causal connection between his irrationality, his jealousy, his outrage, his rage, and his just being inhumane, and him coercing her to engage in this sexual activity?
What about the threats to expose her tapes and also to get her parents fired as well?
Yes, but is that because, right? Is that because you're not going to do a freak off with me? Is there a direct connection between, hey, I'm going to expose these tapes, I'm going to get your parents fired, I'm going to extort $20,000 from your parents, etc.? Is that because you come to this freak off with me or else? And that's the issue. You got to establish his conduct, maniacal, radical, horrific, inhumane, indecent. But is that because I want you to freak off with me? And if you establish that connection and the jury gets it, it's one thing. If you just show that he's a maniac who's doing horrible things because he's jealous, that's quite another.
Well, on the 29th
let's go. Let's go and
she had gone to a club with her friends.
Let's go and let's go back over here to inner city. Let's see what we got.
Actually persuaded and almost browbeaten, and she's saying, "I want to have fun with my friends. I don't want to do the freak off." And at one point,
here we go. We got something
I'm
right
paraphrasing here. I do all this stuff for you, and you can't do this one effing thing for me. F you. That was how they tried to thread the needle about the pressure about the freak offs. Does that address Joey's claim, or is that still not enough?
I think it doesn't have to be so surgical, right? I mean, I think if you have a relationship where there's all this pressure, all this coercion, day in and day out. She doesn't really control her own life. He controls her life. And then he makes these demands on her, including these sex parties, part of which was the trafficking, right, element. I think that's going to be good enough for the jury to say we're going to find the sex trafficking because of the kind of totality of circumstances of their relationship. But I do think that because of the relationship and how long it lasted and how much she wanted it to be more serious, the jury is going to have to decide if the coercion was really coercion. I mean, they have to get over that hurdle. But I don't think it has to be so specific of like, at this time, right before the freak off, it has to be coercive.
Well, and a celebrity stylist who worked with Sean Diddy Combs for about a decade will be back on the
1 hour ago
trial this morning. Deontay Nash testified about several incidents in which he
here we go. Let's go here.
Former girlfriend Cassie Ventura, and he explained one moment to the jurors about when Diddy came to his home looking for her.
Okay, let's go here. Something just came in. It's been sitting here an hour. Oh boy, my boy, in a city, do the trial. I want to go there. Yeah, I think that's where it's at. I think that's where it's at. Okay. Okay, right now is, how we go? Where we at? Come on, y'all. Okay, here we go. This is where we at right here? All right, okay, an hour ago. Here we go. This is 1 hour ago. It said that the state, what injury did you see? Mia say, a busted lip, she was injured. State say, where were you? Mia say, in the hotel room with Larry Sim, her hairstylist. State say, did you learn how she got the injured? Mia said, Cass had an audio recording of Puff attacking her. Okay. This is all took place. This is just 1 hour ago it came in. Okay. State. How did Cass sound on the audio recording? Combs still. That is Sean's lawyer still say objection. Judge said overruled. Mia say panic. I heard the sound of someone getting hit. State say, did you go to event? Mia say the premiere of Brad Pitt movie Killing Them Softly. This is ice break. This happened an hour ago. If we still at the same people? Okay, no. During break, we ran up to the lawyer asked right now. Okay, no. They got that's another case that's in there with them. Okay, we're gonna move on down. Okay, yeah, okay, then we're gonna move on now. This has took place. Now we at 2 hours. The state, Mr. Steele told us he anticipated his cross being an hour and a half. And no event longer than direct. Not to hold him to it. Judge, I want to reschedule. Okay, so wait a minute, hold on. We just got that part there. We already been there. We just got that first part there. Let's go in here. We going to go in, let me see where we are at. We going in here. See, could we get this other transcript paper? Because now these transcripts are coming out from this morning. That basically what's taking place right now. Those of you that don't know, yes, we have. Thank you for the Cash App. We have paid for the transcript so that to keep us going. So it won't be ain't stopping us now that we got to wait on for anything. Okay, let me see what he got here. Thank you guys for y'all support. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah, okay, here we go. We don't have, see, they doing a lot of trials that's in here. He covering a lot. I like how he said it was from dealing back with another courthouse that something was going on. Okay, here we go right here from where I left off. The state, this is what the state say. What happened at the premiere? Mia say Puff was digging his nails into her arms and talking low. Oh my God. Okay. That's me. Okay, and then the state say, what would Mr. Cohn ask you to do? Mia say, take care of her. I bring her jail. The state say for what? Mia say for the bruises. Okay. Sean told her to take care of her, so Mia went out and got some jail for the bruises that's on Cass. Which that Mia call her Cass. Okay. The state. Let's turn to December the 22nd of 2011. Mia say, at Puff's house, the mood was darker than normal. This was more of a like Puff was upset. Okay. The state say, what did he tell him? Mia say that Cass had been talking to somebody else. State say who? Mia say Kid Cudi. Okay, here we go. The state say after Mia said that, oh, it's Kid Cudi. The state say, what injury did you see? And okay, that's how they keep dropping stuff in there. Okay, now what injury did you see? A busted lip. She was injured. And where were you? Out in her hotel room with Larry, her hairstylist. The state say, did you learn how she got injured? Mia said Cass had an audio recording of Puff attacking her. Okay, now we about up to date right there. Let's go. Let's see if anything else has dropped. We all talking about what took place an hour ago. Let me see. Okay, here we go. Something just dropped. Okay. This just dropped. The state says, how was he? Mia say, he seemed brokenhearted. I never witnessed Cass to do something to really cause him to be upset. I felt something bad would happen. The state say, did you then see her? Mia say, in a black car with Captain Cohen Clark. Okay. Y'all, let's move up. Let's see what they're going to drop. How y'all doing today? Okay, right now we up here. Let me see. We are up here. Okay, nothing has not dropped yet. That had just dropped when I was reading it to you. Hold on. Let me see what we got over here. We are still dealing with, okay, what we got here. This is dealing back with other trials and stuff. We'll be dealing back with them as we go on because, hey, hey, I'm going to get my money, but I don't pay for the whole doggone year. How y'all doing? Okay, let me see. Over here, let me see what about we at. We Sean hairstyling, Nash, the violent, the free call prep after mistrial denied. Okay, good. We right here. Cassie Lloyd, yeah, put the email. Home trial of the inner city one. Okay. This. Okay, that's good. What we are right here, I don't know if you guys are following me, but you should. This is basically getting us to line up. All this here stuff here, we don't took care. We don't took care of all this here. All right. Even to Nash, you remember Nash for yesterday? She was talking about the violence and how they did the prep up for the free call. But we got time. We can go ahead and see what we can remember of it. Come on, open. Okay. Okay, this is giving us what happened, but on yesterday, that May 28th. Okay, this is the roundup that did in fact with Sean Combs trial, the stylist Nash on ballot, and the pre-call prep after a mistrial denied. So let me tell you something. Let me go over here and look at you guys for a little bit. I'm over here on another page. Hey, how you guys doing? Y'all, we're gonna take a break, and so I can taste me some coffee. Y'all, this was asked something yesterday, and it's don't put it does not how would I say, it don't amaze me if they come out with this here with a mistrial. That damn boy. Y'all, I have to say that damn Sean Combs said that he can rule the world. You remember he had said that he ruled the world, right? He said he was on top of the world. Y'all, this is what I'm having a problem with. I hope our president, yeah, he is our president. I hope that he don't interfere in this here, because he got a lot of hang up in him. Self-love, my moderator, she here with me, and me and her been co-handling this trial together. He got a lot of, the feds caught him on 36 or either 34 charges on him. So of course, yes, he is mad. He would do anything that if they do find him guilty, allegedly, do find him guilty, it's like that man would say, go ahead and let him on out. So what? Y'all ain't gonna y'all ain't gonna get nobody else in no trouble like how you did me. Let all the criminals out. This is just, I know I said it wrong, but you deal with me. I'm learning about this case. We are learning about it together. Okay? I think everybody basically was coming up. Okay. I thank everybody for coming up. Y'all, I got a bad allergy. This is the new glass. This lens right there. But I'm so dead fat, but it's a case. I can't even, I'm thinking about if I'm going to the doctor, I'm going to miss something. Okay, but anyway, we'll see. The RICO charges. I'm going to pull them up. I'm going to Google, even though that they have it, but I want to base it like, I'm following this here, and everything teacher tells you, oh, this is it. This is about this and that. But it don't mean necessarily that that's how this is going to go down like this here. And then also to make sure y'all understand it as they talking about this here. Everybody can, how they say that whoever wanted to be there was there. Okay, you are with you with what is man is Sean Combs, Diddy, Puff Daddy, Love, whatever they is. You with him. Who want to walk away from that? To be a part of everything. This is like being like working for Oprah. Who gonna mess that up? All right. Also, to the industry, Hollywood don't poison these people's minds so bad that wish that y'all know what I have done said to y'all before. In order for to get up to the top, you're gonna have to do you have to do things that you wouldn't do, never thought about was gonna anyway. That's how Hollywood, how they do, that's how that work. Now, dealing with Cassie, all of them. Oh, thank you, Wayne. Thank you. With all of them, they were living the time of their life. What 20-year-old don't want to be in your 20s? A lot of people. In your 20s, that is people not understand people. Okay, yeah. Okay, thank you, self-love. Y'all, we got to get out our feeling. Now, all this beating that he did is still in the same range with OJ and then what it is, Ike Turner. I don't know. Based so much impact with our black men. Why is so much hands on? But okay, that's fine. But it's not okay. All the ladies that I know, they don't made it through it, and some of them did not. A lot of the ladies that's in locked up now, it's because that they don't report it so much to the law, and they had don't sign up to themselves. I ain't gonna let him hit no more. You know how they say, better you than is me. So dealing right with Cassie did not want, she did not want to go back where she came from. And being a singer and being a model and all this stuff here, she should have accomplished something. Okay? But she was dating with the producer. Majority of them that's out there, they always dating the producer. And it's always, look at Beyonce. Now, all this here beating. I mean, this thing like at nighttime, you know, like bother me. It's like, oh my God, beat. But you know, it what they are saying, what actually happened. Okay. Let's go over here. Oh, it's doggone beaten. Okay, let's go on up. Let's see this inner. Let's see that they drop anything just a few minutes ago. Since okay, the premiere. Okay, let's see. Did they drop anything yet? Okay. No. Let me go right here. Okay, that's the book and the circle. Let me see what we got here. Just anything that came out. Okay, nothing didn't come out yet. Just a little bit. Now let's go back over in here. Okay, let's go over here to the shade room. Let me see, make sure that we are good. Yeah, we are good. Let's go to the shade room. Okay, you know that shade room, it pure down hood. Okay, here we go. From the shade room. Also, too, you can get it shade room based on IG. I think this is what it's also too telling. Hey, everybody, thank you for watching me. Thank you. We'll get back with her in a little bit. We got enough that we did one thing at once. One thing at once. I can't take it. Okay, 5 hours ago, the thread. Okay, the test. Okay, we don't did the shade room, did not load up nothing else. Shade room did not load up nothing else since that we did this here. Let me see. We are caught up on the shade room. This is that because side up with Michael G. Okay, wait a minute, hold up. Okay, let me go. Let me go right back down here. This is what just jumped down. This here been in 5 hours ago. Okay, here we go. I don't know if I had got this here with us. Okay. Nash revealed he sat up Cassie with Michael B. Jordan during a 2015 film shoot in South Africa, saying, yes, I put her together with Michael B. Jordan. I mean, he's fine. She fine. Why not? Okay. This is all took place in fact with today. Nash revealed this without being asked as the judge instruct Nash to only answer the question. Answer the question that's asked. Nash also stated that Cassie and Diddy broke up during that trip after Cassie learned that Diddy, well, you know, Combs had been since public with his ex Gina. Okay, here we go. Let's move. Okay, are you moving? Okay, we moving it. I'm going very, very slow, you guys, because okay, this was 19 hours ago. The witness apologized to Cassie, a new interview for his role of the wild freak off with Diddy. Okay, this is like 19 hours ago. I can refresh it, but I think we said this here yesterday. This Diddy trial witness has apologized. Okay, yeah, okay, yes. Okay, we didn't get to this here. The witness at Diddy's trial, okay, had apologized to Cassie in a new interview for his role in those wild freak off with Diddy. Really, that he didn't have no idea that that ain't what she was about. Okay, she was there trying to please her man. Okay, let's see what they said right here. Let's go. He was called the Punisher. But yeah, okay, allow it. Yeah, sure, allow it. I was. This is coming right here over here from the shade room. Okay. Hold on a second, you guys. Let me see what they said out here. Okay, let's talk about Hayes, also known as the Punisher, from Diddy alleged freak off. He did one of his first television interviews since testifying in the Magic Mingale trial earlier this month. Damn, he's busy. The Punisher, he's busy. And when early this month, and when the Punisher was asked after his feeling regards of Cassie and what she claimed she endured during her many alleged freak off, Hayes, that is the Punisher, issued some words of remorse. Okay, how y'all doing today? Are we okay? Okay, here we go. This here is what we are doing. This is what I'm recapping. This is over here on the shade room. Okay. Everybody's doing a recap. All these here recap. Okay. The Punisher appeared on CNN. That was last night. That was Tuesday night on CNN on Tuesday. May 27th, when he was asked about Me and You singer, and what he made of her comment to the jury in Diddy's trial. When pressed on what he had said to her after her tough trial testimony, Punisher kept it all the way real and said he felt bad about it. But during his appearance in court, the Punisher had already expressed that he did not witness any abuse between Cassie and Diddy when they would meet him for these freak-offs. Nevertheless, the accused. Wait a minute. Nevertheless, Cassie had wait a minute, hold up. Wait a minute. Nevertheless, the occasion Cassie had left the Punisher stunned as he shared his remorse for participating, tribute to Cassie trauma. Oh my God. Okay. This is what the Punisher, the one that was in the free call, He been into a lot of freak offs. Okay, I will apologize because I had no idea knowing the case and what she was going through. He said, looking visible serious as he talked about the situation. If you know, obviously may involve further her suffering is tough to hear. Okay. Okay, here we go. Raised by a single mom and grandmom, Punisher said that he got nothing. He is got nothing but respect for a woman, making his regret hit even harder. Oh my God. I would apologize to her and, tell her that I'm really remorseful and regret if I had tribute to the bad experience of her. Add to her, okay? This is what the Punisher, he played out. They go and look for him down. Okay, wait a minute, 1 second. Wait a minute. Come on, for the girls in the back. Let's hear it for ourselves. Okay. How we doing? We okay out there? Okay. Let's go on a little bit. We are over here in the shade room. Okay. What the Punisher said about Diddy on trial. Testified in Diddy's trial, Punisher revealed he first met Cassie Diddy back in 2012 at the Trump International Hotel in New York City. Per ABC News, a woman used the ally Janet, which would later ID as Cassie Ventura, hit him up on a male escort site, claiming she wants him to come over for her birthday party and that her husband was cool with it. When the Punisher arrived, Cassie greeted him in a bathrobe with nothing underneath and a wig, handing him $800 to set up a sexy scene. Diddy watched from the sideline as the pair drenched their body in baby oil. Oh my God. The Punisher said he avoided eye contact and conversation with Combs as instructed. So, okay, they told him, don't even worry about Sean, and like he's not there. He told the jury he had several freak offs with the pair, but never witnessed anything unusual or any abuse between the pair during their encounter. Okay. Cassie welcome up there. Okay, now we get here to the baby. In the midst of all this drama, Cassie still out here thriving as she welcomed motherhood. Okay, that was from TMZ. Once more, TMZ reported that on Tuesday, May 27th, the same day the Punisher interviewed Cassie welcomed her third child, a boy. Her husband Alex signed at New York Hospital. Okay, here we go. Let's keep going. Yeah, they don't have their baby. Congratulations. Wow. Oh my God. Girl. Oh, the thing. Oh, God. Let's go. Okay, let's go back over here. Let's see if we see if anything else dropped. We're going to see. Let's go to interpret. Let's go into here. Come on, what? Okay, inner city press. Yes, that's right. Here we go. We got something that don't drop. Ooh. Depth of water. Okay. Okay. Ugh. Damn. Okay, this is what don't drop. Big sound broken hearted. Okay, we did that now. Okay, we are. Okay, here we go. The state. What did he mean? Neil say like the cool club. He said his MD. Okay, MDMA was pure. Okay, I don't know what that means. I felt like I was now a friend hanging out and I could enjoy myself. Okay, that was Neil was saying that. The state say, come on, the state say, did you take Capitine? Yeah, I think that was it. No. Did you take calamine? Okay, yeah. Did you take calamine? I wonder for what that was. Yes. Neil said yes. At Burning Man, we was partying on a tour bus, and we had the black out shades down. Okay. Oh my goodness. Y'all follow me. We gonna get down here. Okay. They were doing something over there on the bus. Okay. Mia say, this Mia, he had a drug. He had drugs on a plate. I tried to say no. The state says, what happened? Mia say, Puff would not get it. Puff would not get it go. Okay, I guess so he wouldn't get it. It turns a little more serious than I was going to mess up the whole vibe. I took to take it. He got close in my face and humiliate me. State said, how? That's dealing back where we at now. We was on the bus. They pulled all the shades down on the bus, and they got a plate on there full of a drug. Mia didn't want to take no drug, but she didn't want to kill the vibe. So Sean got in her face and said, take it, allegedly. Okay, here we go. The state, read the message. Mia say, I wrote to the D-Rock. I'm worried about P. I think so. P may be Puff. Okay. Now begin with D-Rock. Y'all know that name didn't fact with D-Rock. I'm worried about P. This feels different. Hit this email when you get it. Love you. The state say, were you romantic involved with D-Rock? Mia say, definitely not. That is just how we talk. The state says, let's talk about the hotel night. What was your role? Neil say, I would Sometimes take them there, unpack, set up, and I would have to just be like a call, etc., and clean up before the housekeeper. The housekeeper. The state say, what would you bring? Neil say, his lotion and his portion. Damn, my God. Here we go. The state say, how was he? Neil say, well, he seemed brokenhearted. Okay, yeah, we don't got that. Okay, we don't got that. Okay, let me see, did anything drop? Okay, let's go back over here to the shade room. Let's see if anything drop. Okay, we over here on the shade room. Okay, right now we right here. We are caught up. Let's go over here. We are caught up. Let's go over here and see if anything had dropped over here on what is it? Okay, I got that thread. Okay, now let's go here and see if anything had don't drop. Pretend. Come on. Let me make sure I watch this here very, very careful, because this stuff here dropping very, very fast. And I got the base going, find myself. Okay, 5 out. Okay, let me see where I'm with. I'm still with the shade room. Let me go check this one more time before I go over there. Okay, hold up and make sure. Okay, here we go. Something have dropped now. The state, how would he compliment you? Neil say, my work, he would give me life advice. The state says, and to tell you, state say, and to tell you you were worthless. Neil say, long extended rant about how incomplete and stupid I was, threatening my job. The state say, anything physical? Neil say, throwing things at me. Neil say, he separate out of a dose and made me snort it. Oh my God. Okay. I didn't want to fall into the K hole. I seen a person and it looked like an ecstasy. How they dropping this in? This is something that was said on the bus. That first part that came in, that just came in. This part here was a part of the bus. That's what I think that is. Yeah. Everything they just dropping. Okay, here we go. They ain't keeping nothing in order. Okay. Okay. Did he take drugs while working? Neil say he was always working. Once on the way to Chelsea Hamler, the state say, how did Mr. Cone treat you? Neil say, sometimes like best friend and working partner, and sometimes like a worthless piece of crap. All right, minute, you guys. I'm going back over here. Okay. A worthless piece of crap. Okay, here we go. The state say, what did he mean? Neil say, like the cool color. Okay, we already been there. Play. Okay, we got everything. We already done been there. Let me see if anything don't jumped off. Okay, here we. Okay, here we go. This is what dropped in just now. Damn, man, you got to piece all this here together. This lady, did he talk about jobs for you? Mia said yes. Before the Revolt film, he talks about other companies. I told him I want to create a development TV show, especially comedy. He said that is what he want to do too. Then we had take away my credit. Okay. Then he have taken away my credit. Okay, let's go down here. Okay. How did he become? Okay, this is okay. We don't got there. Let's go back up here and see that they drop anything else. Okay, right there. We don't caught up with that little bit right there. I don't trust this thing. This thing forever dropping something. Did he talk about your job? Okay. Okay. I think so that I think so we cool for now. Let's go over here and see what they doing over here. Mm-hmm. Come on, child. Okay. Now let me go on back over here. Well, let me see. Let's go. Okay, you guys, let's take a break for a minute. Let's get our coffee. It shall be good, we good, we good. I'm trying to make sure before I let you guys go that, okay. Hold on, let's see. Hold on a second. Okay. Okay, hold on a second.
And
Let's see
check,
what we
she's really a nice lady. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a really great birthday.
okay. I smear video. I think that we've been here.
Did his daughter help too? Whose daughter? Don't worry about it. So now, once you finish picking out the clothing, when he said Marnie Sinafante, the attorney thought Marty was a man. Did his daughter help too? Whose daughter? Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. So now, once you finish picking out the clothing for the celebrities and their photo shoots and their video shoots, is your job done? It depends. Okay. You also help people pick out their clothing for tours, correct? For when they perform on these tours, correct?
Okay, you got.
So in 2016, during this reunion tour, you were present to help pick out persons' clothing for their performances. Yes. And that's a very important job, yes, because people have to look, celebrities have to look a certain way when they walk outside, yes. Because their look is part of their celebrity status, yes. And it has to be, I mean, it takes a lot to pick out the right outfit for the right event, yes. And you have to have the hair right, yes. And that's all about that's all a part of being an artist, yes. All right, and you help people do that, yes. You help Mr. Combs do that, yes. You did that for a while with Mr. Combs, yes. And he would send you would send him pictures of what to wear. He would pick which ones he wanted, correct? Cassie would usually send them, but yes. Cassie would send him pictures, yes. And he would pick out which ones he wanted from those, yes. You know someone named Scott Langston or Scott Langston? No. What about, do you know the public school brand, the public school clothing brand? No. Do you know Mario Solomon? No. Do you know Groovy Lou? Yes. Who is Groovy Lou? Puff's longtime friend and one of his stylists. So let's see. Groovy Lou. Oh, okay. Groovy Lou is the man Diddy was harassing. This guy, I believe he's Rastafarian, and he's the one who on Drink Champs when he was telling Fab, "You don't party with me. You don't party with me." On the break, he was trying to lift up this man's. I think he had on like a sweater tied to the front or something like that. Let's see. Diddy, Drink Champs, Lou. Yeah, that's okay. I thought I recognized them. Sorry.
Bro, we're intoxicated. Listen. Bro, can't kill it. No, bro. Can't kill it. No, bro. Can't kill it. No. I'm telling the story. Bro.
You can tell.
Listen.
Oh, bro, we high. The man did not want to bother. He ran away.
Hey, yo. Don't do that.
Yeah, that's why I said it's playful, but it's aggressive. You're putting him in front of people. You may not want to be doing this in front of other people. You're putting him on the spot. Yeah. Puff's longtime friend and one of his stylists. Do you mean Mike B? From around? Yes. Who is Mike B? One of Puff's old stylists. Now, it would be fair to say that when you worked at Bad Boy as an intern and as a stylist for Mr. Combs and a stylist for Mr. Combs, what's her name? Mrs. Fine. Fine. Mrs. Fine. There were other artists that were also signed to the Bad Boy roster. Would that be fair to say? Yes. Who were they? French Montana. Wait. French Montana, the hip-hop person, rap star? Yes. I mean, Puff, and that's all I can really remember right now. Just two of them. I don't know. While I was there. So let's do this real quick.
I bet this is a whole round, yeah.
I know I had it. It was right here. Okay. I found it. So when we're talking about Puffy putting employees on the spot and making them uncomfortable, French Montana is also on that list. I don't know everything else, but he will put an employee on the spot. If he ain't slapping you in the back of the head, he's making you uncomfortable.
Yo, look at your man French Montana's feet. Hell, stop, bro. Hey, yo, dog, you got some pretty.
I guess he don't care who you are. So French Montana. Wait, French Montana, the hip hop person, the rap star. Yes, I mean, and Puff. That's all I can remember. So just two of them. I don't know. While I was there. You were Danny D. Kane, Day 26. Danny D. Kane, Day 26. Who else? I don't remember. Did you ever see Gun Kelly there? Oh, yeah. You seen Gun Kelly. Yes. Who else? I don't remember. All those people that were there, they also had stylists, correct? I don't know. Well, at a label such as Bad Boy Records or Bad Boy, period, as you said, artists have to be, well, pay attention to their clothing, correct? Yes. You would agree that it is in the best interest, based on your experience, as indicated on direct. You would agree it's on the label's best interest to make sure that the artists signed to a label are dressed appropriately. Yes. Would you agree that it's in the label's best interest that stars or its artists that are assigned to them hair is appropriate? Yes. Would you agree that it's in the label's best interest that the artists signed to the label represent themselves properly in public? Yes. And that's all because the label, I guess, makes more money if the artists make money. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay, and so you would agree that if Cassie, well, Stripe, was Cassie signed to the Bad Boy label? Yes. So you would agree that the label had an interest in how Cassie looked when she went outside? Yes. You would agree that the label had an interest in how Cassie's clothing looked? Yes. You would even agree that, do you recall a haircut that Cassie had? The side haircut? Yes. That haircut became almost iconic? Yes. It became the Cassie cut? Yes. People all around the world were getting their haircut. Correct. Objection, Your Honor. Sustained. Let's move on. Who decided that haircut? Who suggested the haircut? Puff. Who? Puff. Mr. Combs? Is that is that a yes? Yes. So Mr. Combs suggested that the haircut on Cassie, that became iconic. Yes. And so when Cassie was wearing certain clothing outside, it would be important for that person who ran the label that her clothing looked good. Would that be fair? Sometimes, yeah. You also mentioned during direct that you were Cassie was at a studio session quite often. You recall that? Yes. I believe you said you were recording almost every day. You recall that towards the end, yeah. And this was in a studio, correct? I believe you also said that something about we'll get to the mixtape. When you say recording every day, this is an actual studio, correct? So the jury understands. We're talking about a studio that can record songs that could be released commercially, correct? And you know the difference. You know what a commercial release means, correct? That means releases that are public so that they can have some commercial profit. Yes. And making those songs in the studios takes time. Yes. Sometimes days and weeks. Yes. For one song. Is that a yes? That's a little excessive, but yes. Okay, studios are expensive, correct? Yes. Studio time is expensive. Yes. So when you say that you and Cassie were in the studio quite often, almost every day, recording songs, somebody had to pay for that studio. Yes. And it is in the label's best interest to ensure that the artist is putting out commercially satisfactory songs, correct? Yes. Okay, and so the label pays for the studio time. Yes. And so the label in this situation was Bad Boy, correct? Correct. And that would be Mr. Combs, correct? Correct. So when you say that you and Cassie were in the studio almost every day or quite often, that means that Mr. Combs is paying for that studio time, correct? Correct. She wouldn't be able to go to the studio unless he pays for it, correct? He's getting on my nerves with these questions. He's really getting on my nerves with these questions. And so the label wants, well, I shouldn't say once. It would be fair to say that, well, when you say a lot, you mean over the course of between 2009 and 2008, you and Cassie went to the studio quite often, paid for by Mr. Combs. Yes. Yes. Well, that would mean he's doing on purpose at this point. Oh, well, that would mean that you would agree that Mr. Combs and Bad Boy had an interest in Cassie's future. Yes. Do you know what Young and the Reckless is? Yes. And that's something that was, well, I don't want to. You tell the jury what that is. A streetwear brand. Streetwear clothing brand. Clothing brand. Say that again. A streetwear clothing brand. A clothing brand. And it was founded or owned or made by whom? I don't know. I don't remember. Well, Cassie had an interest in this, right? Yes. Cassie was part of that. Yes. That was 2015, 2016. Maybe around there. And as part of this clothing streetwear brand, Cassie was taking photos. Yes. She was doing photo shoots. Yes. Were you styling that as well? Yes. And that wasn't under the auspices of Bad Boy, correct? What do you mean? Bad Boy had nothing to do with Young and Reckless. No. Puff had to approve the photos. Puff had to approve the photos? Yes. But Puff didn't have to approve Cassie going to do work with Young and Reckless. Yes, he did. Did he approve that? Yes. When did he approve that? You say what? When did he approve that? I don't. It was years ago, but he approved it. So just so I'm clear, that was also to make money, correct? Yes. So Mr. Combs approved Cassie to go out and make money with the clothing and streetwear brand. Yes. And Mr. Combs had nothing to do with the release of Young and Restless. I mean, he was hands-on, but it wasn't his company. No. So someone else was making money off Young and Restless with Reckless with Cassie. Yes. How long did that last? I don't remember. Do you know someone named Banya? Yes. Did Banya have something to do with Young and Reckless? Yes. What did Banya have to do with Young and Reckless? She was a designer. I think I used to wear them. Definitely, I used to wear the Young and Reckless hat for sure. And Banya, would it be fair to say that Banya is a friend of Cassie's? Yes. And so Banya asked Cassie to help her with Young and Restless. Correct. Yes. And then Cassie decides to step away from her singing, go into making money with Banya and Young and Restless. It wasn't a step away from singing. Okay. In addition to her singing, she decided to do something else to help her make money. Correct. And Mr. Combs said, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. Yes. Did not hold her back at all. No, not at all. Now, you said you mentioned a bad boy. No, that is definitely different because I will admit, I was under the impression, that he wasn't allowing her to do any modeling or anything like that. So maybe around 2015, 2016, that changed. So we got to keep a note of that. Now, you said you mentioned a bad boy. I feel like y'all are in the courtroom with me. This is what I will be doing in the courtroom. Like, I will be doing this as a star to come back to you guys to talk about it. So now y'all are in court with me. Now, you said you mentioned a Bad Boy tour. That was in 2016. Do you recall that? Yes. And you were part of that tour? Yes. And when I say part of it, you were a stylist. Yes. That means you traveled with the tour. Oh, no. I stayed home. You stayed home? Yeah. I don't blame you. Where's home? California? Yes. I'm not mad at you. So you stayed home and you styled from home? No. We did a fitting beforehand. What does that mean? You do a fitting, you prep clothes, and Derek took the clothes with him. When you say prep the clothes, what is that? What is prep? We don't know what that means. What do you mean by prep the clothes? You go shopping, you make outfits, you pack everything, and we put it on a garment racks. You have a fitting, and you take the edits with you. Well, for how many people? For how many artists did you do that for? I think maybe like 4. Which artists? It was Lil' Kim, Cassie, Puff, and Mace, I want to say. So fair to say then that back in 2016, during this particular tour, you did the styling or helped do the styling for what would be considered a major musicians at the time, correct? Yes. Mace would be a major platinum selling musician. He said not at the time.
That was not expected.
Let's do that one more time. He said, so Mace would be a major platinum selling musician. He said, not at that time. Well, overall, yes. And who else was there? Lil' Kim. Major platinum selling artist. Yes. Mr. Combs as well. Yes. Major platinum selling artist. Yes. And your personal client was Cassie. Yes. And anyone else on that tour? No. Now, y'all, what would he have done if when they got to Diddy's name, he would have said not at that time? Because that would have been fair to say. Just quickly, you mentioned something about seeing a black eye on FaceTime. Do you remember saying that? Yes. And that was after this Intercontinental incident, correct? During the Intercontinental incident, correct? No. The black eye, yes. I did see that one, yes. I thought you meant the Vegas, yes. And this tour that you styled for, was after that, correct? The tour was in June 2016, and the incident at the Intercontinental happened in March 2016. Yes, but there was a show maybe like a year before the tour at Barclays. It was maybe like a 2-night show, and then maybe I want to say the next year, 6 months later, they went on tour. Who was in the show? Bad Boy artist. Who? Carl Thomas? I don't remember. Did you style for them as well? I actually did. You styled for Carl Thomas? Yes. Let's get this right then. You started as an intern in 2007, 2008. You catapulted to celebrity stylist. Yes. And then after that, by the time 2016 came around, you styled Carl Thomas, Sean Combs, Mace Little Kim. Yes. Who else? Cassie. Cassie? Mm-hmm. Anybody else? Puff. Who else? So based on your internship with Bad Boy, you became a celebrity stylist. Yes. Is that a yes? Yes. Now I'm going to go back to your studio stuff. You said Cassie was inside the studio all the time. These studio sessions weren't just by herself, though. What do you mean? Well, we talked about this mixtape. Do you recall talking about that? Yes. All right, the mixtape. For some of the jurors that might not know what it is, a mixtape is a tape of a lot of different songs. Yes, with various artists. Yes. And in that particular situation, the mixtape they were talking about was Cassie and a lot of
I don't even know I brought you over here. Hold on a second.
and all the artists had to be in studios, had to work with Cassie to make their particular song.
Hold on.
They weren't necessarily in the studio all the time.
I did not mess up. Oh, there you go.
Yes,
Oh.
some of them. Yes. Some of them, right? So the mixtape that Cassie made while being with Bad Boy, you had, well, you recall the mixtape, yes.
Okay.
You said you helped. I'm not doing this, y'all.
I know.
I helped Cassie pick songs. I helped her set up sessions. I helped with creative ideas. So you went from a celebrity stylist to executive producer.
Okay, let's go.
Say that again louder. Actually, my original interview with Bad Boy was to work in A&R. All right. But at this point, 2016, you were basically executive producing this mixtape, correct? With the team. We have a team. You got no credit for that, right? No. You got paid no money for that. No one got paid for the mixtape. You even get no acknowledgement for being the executive producer of the mixtape.
Okay.
No. So no one besides you and Cassie knew what you did on this mixtape. Is that fair to say? No. Rob Holiday. Rob Holiday. Dominique. Rob Holiday is a low-budget producer, you said earlier. Yes. Is that what you said? Yes. When you said low-budget producer, you were just saying that because he's a low-paying producer or he's not a good producer? He's a whack producer. Why is he low? Why is he a low-budget producer? This nigga said a little bit of all of the above. What happened between Deontay and Rob Holiday?
Okay, here we go.
What is something had to happen between Rob Holiday and Deontay because nobody even knows who he is. But now his name is trash in the industry because Deontay then said his name is trash. Hold on, I think you got it right. Hold on, where is it? You definitely got it right, B.
And I
Okay, and he was this low budget producer was on the mixtape, correct? Yes. Meek Mills is on the mixtape, yes. And Meek Mills at the time was a really popular internationally known rap artist, correct? You also said French Montana, yes. He was also a pretty well-known popular rap artist, correct? Jeremiah, yes. Platinum selling artist, I don't know his stats. Very popular at one time, yes. Fabulous, yes. Very popular rap artist.
Did we get anything down here?
Pusha T was on the mixtape, yes. Wiz Khalifa, yes.
No,
And just so we're clear, Pusha T and Wiz Khalifa are both really known popular major rap artists, correct? Rick Ross, yes.
Let's see what we got
At
here.
the time, Rick Ross was a super major, well-known rap artist, correct? Too Short, yes. The Too Short from the West Coast, yes. Who decided that? You? You're from California. I'm from California, yes. Did you pick Too Short? No. But Too Short was on there, yes. And he is really known moderately. Damn.
Okay, hold on a second.
Yes, I do think that Too Short is really known. He's been really known since the 90s.
Okay.
He said moderately. So these rap artists, platinum selling popular rap artists at the time, are all were Cassie's mixtape, correct? Somebody says, what is this line of questioning? So Cassie and everybody from the prosecution has basically said that Diddy is not doing anything to help Cassie. Cassie is just basically an indentured servant, a sex slave, a sexual vessel. What he's trying to allude to is Diddy has paid for the studio time. He's paying for Deontay to be her Deontay. called that boy Deontay. He kind of has a diva attitude. He has paid for Deontay to be her stylist, and now he's paid something to all of these artists to be on her mixtape. Now, granted, nobody made any money from this mixtape, but he's trying to give the jury the impression that Diddy did a lot for Cassie.
See, that I already replied to. Share that. Hold on a second. Y'all, I'm here.
The label and Cassie, yes. Do you guys mind if I take a break? Oh, wow. Deontay asked for a break. You need a break? I do. Let's take a break. Wow. Deontay called for a break. I didn't know that. I knew Cassie did it a couple times when she was pregnant. The court, Mr. Nash, you're not to have any discussions with the government lawyers here, but you can take your break. We'll be back at 3:30.
Oh, okay.
We're not going to go through this. They're saying that they're not going to be done.
Let's go.
Okay, Mr. Nash, welcome back. Thank you. You're welcome. Nice coat.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, thank you. You're very welcome. What size is it? Not your size.
Okay, y'all, we did that yesterday. Hold on a second. You remember we went over there yesterday? Hey, man, hold up a second. I'm trying to figure out which one did I do. Wait a minute, hold up. Up there. Is this one? Okay, yeah, that's where I'm at. Okay, you guys, we're gonna go right here. This came out an hour ago. Say, Diddy threatened Ellen live on air and then threatened to come at the end. Okay, here we go. Let's look at that.
No, it's okay. I don't want no problem.
No, it's okay.
No, hold on. Hey, so cheers. Hey! Ellen, I heard you were sick, and look what I got you. Your boy. So whenever you get sick, you can have this.
Thank you so much. That's sweet. I probably won't wear it, but Portia would. All right.
Yo, Ellen, we go so far back. You don't tell these people how far back we go.
I know, but I wear t-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right. Let's.
I mean,
you hold that.
Okay.
All right.
I keep this take two of the joke in the work.
No, it's okay.
I don't want no problem.
No, it's okay.
No, hold on. Hey, so cheers. Hey! Ellen, I heard you were sick, and look what I got you. Your boy. So whenever you get sick, you can have this.
Thank you so much. That's sweet. I probably won't wear it, but Portia would. All right.
Yo, Ellen, we go so far back. You don't tell these people how far back we go.
I know, but I wear t-shirts. I don't know what that means. Anyway, all right. Let's.
I mean,
you hold that.
Okay.
All right.
I keep this take two of the joke in the work.
No, it's okay.
I don't want no problem.
No, it's okay.
No, hold on. Hey, so cheers. Hey! Ellen, I heard you were sick, and look what I got you. Your boy. So whenever you get sick, you can have this.
Okay, these are just basically. You guys, it's something that hold up, this was 3 hours ago. No, let me see. Okay, didn't hear went for try. These are people making fun of stuff. Okay, let me just go here. Let's see where we at. I'm gonna see where we are at now. I'm see what happened now. Anything come through on the media? Let's see what happened. Okay. Okay. Oh boy, my goodness. Okay. And I'm gonna see what did we get anything deep from here? Do I want to do that? Let me go in here. Okay, now here we go. We're gonna go. Nothing haven't came back up yet. Maybe they just waiting on for, as usual, waiting on for the end. Let's go over here. And let me see. Where are we at? Hold on. Okay, I don't know. Let's see what I don't know about this one right here because nobody haven't came out yet. We are basically all caught up of what's going on. Oh wait, I'm trying to. Okay, let me try to see. Okay, now let's just go right here. Let me pull this here down. Wait, hold on a second. Oh my God! No! I'm not. Here.
Home, sleeping, only up to eat.
Okay.
Did you do drugs before you worked for Mr. Combs? No. And after? Yes. Oh, MDMA. Puff gave it to me. He said that I was now part of the what? Of what? Oh my, wait. The what?
Okay.
Charlamagne, nigga, what? Nigga, what?
I'm all
nigga, what? The Breakfast Club. Wait a minute, y'all. Money Mo, you see that motherfucker said the Breakfast? Man, he could have chose any damn name. But the Breakfast Club, y'all.
No. Did just something.
Oh wow.
I just walked in, somebody just goofing
So I wonder
off.
what the blood was going in.
This is
What were they eating for breakfast, y'all? What they were eating for breakfast? Now this is some shit. This is truly some shit.
Let me
What
get
did he
y'all out
mean?
of here.
Like the Cool Club. He said his MDMA was pure. It felt like I was now a friend hanging out and I could enjoy myself. Did you take ketamine? Yes, at Burning Man.
Hold on a second.
Most of the people were saying, well, she didn't get shot at all. Now they're saying, well, she got shot, but it wasn't Tory who shot her. Which one is it? So y'all telling me to...
Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go.
Willie D Live.
What's up, family? The third week of the Diddy trafficking trial continues today in a New York federal courtroom, and the drama continues. Family, You know, anytime they put an LAPD officer on the stand, it's going to be hard to believe. Listen, fam, we've seen so many cases involving LAPD, so many dirty police officers.
Okay.
And this is not me trying to ride for Diddy. Damn.
Okay.
I'm just calling a strike and a ball a ball. I would be remiss to not mention LAPD's long-standing sordid history of lying in the courtroom. If you can recall, there was another big case that was considered the trial of the century when O.J. Simpson was on trial. And you had this lying, uncivilized mutt named Mark Furman, who turned out to be a racist and a liar and a thief and everything else under the sun. And this dude never spent the day in jail. He was planting evidence and everything. Let them tell it. They already had a strong enough case, but he wanted to make sure. So he decided to plant evidence. Yeah. So anyway, I don't trust LAPD. Well, I don't trust, none of these police departments. But LAPD, man, they got a special concentration of some uncivilized mutts over there. Hard to trust them, man. So this brings us to the prosecution calling LAPD officer Christopher Ignacio on yesterday as the first witness of the day. This dude was asked about a 911 call on December 11, 2011 at about 8 a.m., which he describes as code 3 with lights and sirens to a Hollywood Hills address. The address is Scott Kid Cudi Muscuti's house, the location of an alleged break-in by Diddy and associates, and where Cudi's car was later destroyed by a Molotov cocktail. Ignacio says a Cadillac Escalade was present when officers arrived. He also says he memorized the license plate of the Escalade. He became suspicious by the way it left as soon as we got there, he said. He said that they found the front door of the residence unlocked. Inside, officers found expensive watches, purses, some of which were gift wrapped. He said 2 detectives arrived, and he said he saw the same black Escalade driving down the hill. Then Cudi arrived in his Porsche. Ignacio testified he ran the place of the Escalade, which came back as belonging to Bad Boy Records. Let's stop right there. He said he memorized the license plate of the SUV as it drove away immediately after they arrived. He's a cop. He's pulling up at the scene of a crime. And he just lets the truck drive away the potential suspects, the truck carrying the potential suspects just drive away. You don't just stop them. He's a Keystone Cop, his top flight or something. And he said he memorized the license plate. Okay, I got it for that moment you memorize it, but then you write it down immediately after, before you forget. Remember, he's going.
Hold up. 1, 3, no, we are, okay, hold on a second. It's so now.
Tighten up. Timeline.
Yeah, we all are doing the same thing, fishing. We all are doing the same thing as fishing right now.
We're going that way.
Okay, we just pick up stuff. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Good night there, everybody don't got I want to show you guys something that I had seen this here a while ago. And this is basically what I'm going to show you. This is how allegedly about the parties that they throw. All right. I was watching it last night, and I don't know if you guys have seen it, but let me have saw it before, but I'm going to share with you what I had done seen. Let me see. New clips, no. Let me see. Where is it at? Okay, hold on one second, you guys. I got something on the stove. I'm preparing my dinner. Hold one second. Okay. Let's see how could I get to it. Something that I think that you guys should see. Um, okay, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys what happened when they wanna get you in exploding. Okay, hold on a second. I'm gonna get to it. Right now, everybody's basically just fooling around. They're trying to find something to entertain you guys with, but I want you to actually look at this here. Okay, secret society. Shoot, man, how could I get this to here? That is funny shit right now. This is sort of kind of tough here. This is what I'm gonna show you guys. It is very, very mind-boggling. What I'm gonna show you. This gonna give you a situation. Come on, man. I hope I can find it. What I was right there where it was. Boy, let me see if you over here.
Yo, whoever got a contract with me, if you got a contract for Bobby Shmurda and you don't.
Oh no, child, please. I ain't hear that. I'm here for to find something else. I'm taking you out to the secret. Come on, man. Where is it? Y'all, let's take a break while I look for this here. Videos. Hold on a second.
It's your boy DJ Academics.
Oh, no. It's no, they didn't. Yeah, like that. Okay, let me get y'all right here for a second. Let me get y'all right here.
Government asked the sexual assault when they occurred when I was working for Puff. Where was the first time? The Plaza Hotel in New York for Puff's 40th birthday. Were you his personal assistant? Yes, I'd been there only a few months, she says. So she had just started. And then she was SA'd. Oh my God. That's a good point too, Lori. He could meet the elements for RICO. Oh my God, my battery just died. He could meet the elements for RICO and still be found not guilty. Why did you just die? Oh my God, this is so annoying. Hold up. I charged these batteries all night. What happened? Sorry, y'all. Let me switch this up real quick.
Oh, boy, I'm trying to find it. Okay, hello.
So I was chilling.
No, and this is not the one. I don't know who this guy is, so I'm not gonna be subscribing to everybody. I just gotta. It's something that I want you guys to see. Let me see. Could I find? I had it last night, and I said, we're gonna cover that tomorrow. Let's go here for a few minutes. Try to find that thing. What I'm looking for. Oh, okay. She finished. Ooh, everybody's finishing up. Same thing, y'all. We just left from there.
So that's where we at, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, hit the like button, man. Click the share button. Let them know we over here on Straight Game TV, man. Mr. Self-Respect. Even if P. Diddy beat the rap, his public image is suffer. Oh, yeah, he's done. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. Who was that? Who was that over here, man? I ain't even see that one, man. Who's that? Yaya Kids. Thank you, Yaya Kids. I appreciate you for that 100. I appreciate you. Hey, stay with us, Yaya Kids. Don't go nowhere now. Like I said, once again, we just trying to do the best we can do over here. If P. Diddy beat the rap, his public image has suffered, and non-black folks are gonna ain't do no business. Absolutely. Like I said, at the end of the day, when we think about who he is as an individual, like I said, I told you guys the Tupac thing. Oh, I believe that he definitely put a hit on Tupac and should. I mean, being to see how petty he is, if some of or all of what this young lady is saying and all of the corroborating stories that we've come to understand are true. So, like I said, at the end of the day, none of those were tried in court. None of those charges with the Tupac situation, none of that. We're talking about a RICO Act, a criminal organization. This was not a criminal organization, ladies and gentlemen. This was not the mafia. This was not, John Gotti. This was nothing like that. You have a one-person RICO, ladies and gentlemen. It's hella hard to prove.
I can't believe that.
It's hella hard to prove. Thanks again, Yaya Kids. I appreciate you. Like I say, keep coming back. More importantly, it ain't about the dough, but I appreciate the donation. It's more about just having you guys, and we can sit back and we can chop it up. You know what I mean? And really, talk about what we're talking about.
Yes,
So
same
let's
thing
see.
what we doing
We
here,
trying
y'all.
to get to what it
It
is,
took
you
some
know,
time
involving this
so they can get out of court. That's all we're doing. If you
this
got
sexual
to
assault
go
thing,
ahead
ladies
and
and
do it.
gentlemen.
We'll be here.
They came back to it.
Only thing different, we just ahead.
Said the prosecutor, what did he say? That we're going to be working closer together. He poured us 2 shots of vodka each for his birthday. Prosecutors, what did you do with the shot? I took them. They hit me hard. Usually I could take it easily. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, she is partaking, right? She has crossed the line. The line. Like, is she working? Or is they celebrating? You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out which one is it, ladies and gentlemen, right? I'm trying to figure out if they working or they celebrating, because I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out. Mia, my eyes couldn't focus. His face was close. He put his arms inside my dress and kissed me. Prosecutors, did you want him to? No. Prosecutors, were you able to say no? Mia, I was shocked. I froze. I didn't process what was happening. Okay. Fair to say, like I say, I'm not even going to say nothing about that. This is her experience that she said she had with Diddy. You know, I definitely don't disrespect any type of sexual assault victims or anything like that. Somebody explaining what's going on. This is what she said to happen to her. Okay. Were you able to say no? She said, I was shocked. I froze. I didn't process what was going on, what was happening. Class, he said, I can't be bothered. This prosecution can't think the jurors are stupid to buy this nonsense. These are lies. Story is too soap. What is that? Too soapy. Yeah, I like I said once again, I don't know what to believe. You know what I mean? From that perspective. But like I said, this is what they're saying. This is what they're saying, ladies and gentlemen. Get to the next one. Mia, next thing I knew, it was morning and I was in a chair in the penthouse. Prosecutors, how had you looked at how she said how had you looked at him, Mia, like an older adult? He was the boss or the king. See, stop it. See what I mean? See, stop it. Stop it. Right immediately, ladies and gentlemen. He was like the boss of the king. What are they talking about? Right? Prosecutors, what were your expectations? I thought it would never happen again. A huge accident. What? What? She's saying what? She slept with him? Come on, ladies and gentlemen. See, this part right here I got a problem with, right? So Mia, next thing I knew, it was morning. So she claimed to not even remember what happened, right? I was in a chair in the penthouse.
We did that yesterday, you guys.
How had you looked at him, Mia, like an older adult? Come on, he gave you ketamine and MDMA. You said that he was the devil. He was the boss or the king. See, these words, that boss, that king word, right? He was your boss, right? A king, I don't know about all that. King of what? You know what I mean? Prosecutions. What were your expectations? I thought it would never happen again. What would happen again? A huge accident. What do you mean a huge accident? An accident? How could you describe him doing something to you unbecoming or sexually assaulting you as an accident? It was intentional, right? Her explaining that doesn't even sound right. I'm just saying. He say what he say. It said men's stories are bad. They're like soap operas. Hold on. A huge accident. Okay.
Y'all, guess what?
So this sounds like the Little Rod story, though. And it's like, it's like this happened, I woke up but Lil Rod took pictures of the girls that was in the bed with him and the Diddy, allegedly. I'm like, well, he was conscious enough to take pictures. You know what I mean? And he stayed around. So what she's basically saying is she didn't move, leave, or do none of that. Like I said, this is what they saying, not us, man.
Oh, what is that?
This is what they saying to us. We just listening.
Okay. Okay, let's go here. We're just gonna hang out a little bit. See if anything will come up. That same thing, but it's the same people that I'm at. The one that we had
prosecutors. Were there other times he made you feel uncomfortable sexually? Mia, yes. I had to carry bags to his room.
Hold on a second. We've been through it. Oh, we've been through that. I gotta see this here one more time to make sure that I got it all down packed. Okay. Damn, Lord, I don't want to mess this up. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep looking at it over here on something. I'm gonna have to keep watching it over here because this is part 14. I'm the interview with that YouTuber members. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see what I'm looking for.
But in terms of the big picture and what's happening in Chicago as a whole, and look, man, like we've been covering Chicago hip hop for 10 plus years or 13 years. And every week, man, or every couple months, we have to post an article about record number of murders, record number of shootings. Every 4th of July is a fucking mess, And I've been in Chicago. I love the city. I love the food. I love the people. Me and John Monopoly go way back. He's the one that took me out to Chicago for the first time and took me around and everything. Boy. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I don't want to have to keep seeing this type of tragedy happen when there are people with power that really, you can't single-handedly do it, but you can set off a chain of events, that does set it off. And ultimately, your kids, your son may or may not be growing up in Chicago, but he's going to go there at some point.
But this the thing, though. It's all a setup for failure. It's like you got to understand. It starts with us. You feel me? With the people, period. But the government, the whatever it is, the secret societies, whatever the fuck they be having going on, it's really them, bro. Like
we're gonna get into the secret society. Let's go right here.
Oh my God, somebody please say it ain't so. Jaguar Wright just revealed that Diddy treat his daughters worse than he treated Cassie.
When you're dealing with the kind of the control freak that Diddy is, and you raise children under that, the financial abuse for all of them is probably the worst. Because there's no way they can make money without him. He has them locked in. And if he falls, who's going to hire them? Who's going to fund them? Who's going to look out for them? No one. No one. They're not fighting for their father. They're fighting for their survival.
Now we're starting to get an understanding of how Diddy's daughters was able to wear what they've been wearing and do what they've been doing at a very young age. It's sort of like he let them be adults, even though they wasn't grown, because the way he raised them was the same way he raised Cassie, because his twins are the same age that Cassie was when he first started dating her. So let that sink in. A lot of people speaking about Diddy and his parenting skills, and also a lot of people wishing that he would stay in jail so he can stay away from his daughters. Not only Jaguar Wright is speaking like this, but she's the main one leading the charge.
Jaguar Wright is not letting up on Diddy anytime soon. And now that the feds are all over him, she's shifting her focus to his daughters, especially the twins, Jessie and Delilah. The twins have been standing firmly by their father's side, even showing up in court to support him. They've continued to live their lives like nothing's wrong, which seems to rub Jaguar the wrong way. She's been going after them relentlessly, even going so far as to paint them as cold and unbothered by what their dad is being accused of. Jaguar isn't just criticizing them, she's on a full-blown mission to frame the girls as heartless, suggesting they don't care about Diddy's alleged victims. It's intense, but the question is, are the twins truly as bad as Jaguar wants people to believe? Or is she crossing a line by coming for a couple of teenagers just trying to get through a traumatic time? Let's break it down. If there's one person who has never liked Diddy, it's Jaguar Wright. If Diddy only had one hater in the world, it would be her. And if she ever stops hating him, that might mean she's no longer on this earth. She's been open and loud about her disdain for him for years. So now that Diddy is facing serious RICO charges and is deep in legal trouble, most thought Jaguar would calm down a bit. But that's not happening. In fact, it seems like Diddy potentially heading to prison still isn't enough for her. Word is, Jaguar has now turned her energy toward his family, specifically the twins. It's almost like she won't rest until everyone associated with Diddy is dragged down. And for some reason, Jessie and Delilah are now at the top of her list. Diddy has 3 daughters around the same age, the twins, and his other daughter Chance. They're all turning 19 this year, so while they're still young, they're technically adults. But it's interesting that Jaguar is mostly leaving Chance alone. That might be because of how she carries herself online. Chance is more reserved, mostly staying out of the spotlight during all the chaos. The twins, though, they've been living it up, posting on social media, going to concerts, and showing no signs of being affected by their dad's scandal. That's probably what's bothering Jaguar the most. To her, it might come across like they're flaunting their lifestyle while Diddy's alleged victims are suffering. Still, it begs the question, are they just trying to hold on to normalcy, or are they really being insensitive? And is
They don't care about
Jaguar
it. He's a mean
accountable,
person.
or is she wrong for targeting them in the first place? Jessie and Delilah Combs have grown up surrounded by luxury, lavish vacations, yacht outings, and all the comforts that come with being the daughters of scene Diddy Combs. This lifestyle is nothing new for them, but with the recent serious allegations against their father, some, including singer Jaguar Wright, feel it's not the best time for them to be showcasing their glamorous lives on social media. Critics argue that the timing feels insensitive, considering the gravity of the legal and public scrutiny Diddy is facing. There's also renewed attention on past rumors surrounding the 2018 passing of their mother, Kim Porter. Online speculation has long suggested that Kim had been working on a memoir before her untimely death, and some believe she was preparing to reveal sensitive information. However, none of these claims have been substantiated, and the family has consistently denied them. When a viral book claiming to be Kim's memoir started circulating, the Combs children released a statement firmly refuting the claims. We'd have seen so many hurtful and false rumors circulating about our parents, Kim Porter and Sean Combs' relationship, as well as about our mom's tragic passing, that we feel the need to speak out. Claims that our mom wrote a book are simply untrue. She did not, and anyone claiming to have a manuscript is misrepresenting themselves. Additionally, please understand that any so-called friend speaking on behalf of our mom or her family is not a friend, nor do they have her best interest at heart. At one point, it appeared that Jesse and Dee Leela were creating distance from the situation. According to a report by the U.S. Sun, the twins were under the care of Wanda Lala Lang, a close friend of Kim Porter, while their father dealt with legal matters. This detail led to speculation, especially since Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, is still alive and could have stepped in, that perhaps the girls were stepping back from more than just their father. Reports also claim that the twins were looking for a rental home in Los Angeles, with sources saying they were having a hard time handling the public nature of the case. At only 17 years old and still in school, it's understandable that they might seek stability outside the spotlight. Their mother's close friend, Kimora Lee Simmons, has also appeared to take on a nurturing role. When the twins attended their prom, Kimora shared a heartfelt message online, Prom 2024. I am so very proud of you, my babies. I love you always and will protect you fiercely to the end with all I have. Congrats, my loves. You made it. Despite earlier speculation, it seems Jesse and Dee Leela have not completely distanced themselves from their father. In fact, they've recently been present in court, showing visible support for him. Some see this as loyalty, but the reality may be more complex. According to reports from the courtroom, the twins and their older sister Chance were deeply affected by emotional testimony during the proceedings. On May 12, they reportedly left the courtroom in tears during particularly distressing testimony involving Diddy's former partner, Cassie Ventura, and a witness named Daniel Phillips. His statements were difficult to hear and clearly took a toll on the young women. While it's evident that this situation has impacted them deeply, Jaguar Wright has continued to speak critically of their public behavior. Initially expressing concern that the girls were being influenced by their father's position and wealth, Wright has since shifted tone and become more outspoken in her criticisms of the twins themselves. The circumstances surrounding the Combs family remain complicated, and the public continues to watch closely. But it's important to remember that Jesse and Dee Leela are still teenagers navigating an extraordinarily difficult and highly publicized chapter in their lives.
When you're dealing with the kind of...
Okay, you guys, I'm gonna say I'll see you guys later. We all caught up, and they haven't came out of court. And I'll see you guys shortly. Those that want to come back out tonight and visit with me for part 2, you can. As soon as I hear something, and I'm still trying to find this movie that it's not a movie, it's just something that was told to the secret society of the YouTubers. All right, and they're gonna tell us basically how did they get there. And I was watching it. I watched it a long time ago, about a year ago. But now I think so that is a good thing, telling us about how did the YouTubers get in dealing back with these here celebrities. It's a frightening thing, but I'm gonna look for it. And if those that are around, just watch my community wall. But I will be coming back for part 2. Okay, after we get through part 2, then we'll go ahead and watch the movie. Okay, you guys, thank you, and have a safe afternoon. Bye-bye. Okay, we got that. Okay. Oh, leaving, right.